is your time.
This shit is pro. And we're live.
Waka waka.
Twice in a row. We're starting at 8:04, but that's still 8.
We better change our start time to be 7 p.m. so that we can start now.
Well, that's what it was supposed to be. So we'd start on time.
I know. We actually did push it back. I don't know if you remember, but then people started showing up
8:30.
after we were supposed to be going live.
Yeah. So I'm not messing around anymore. 8 o'clock.
That's right.
So anyway, welcome to the Arcade Hangout. What episode is this,
163?
It's 163. America's favorite and longest running live arcade podcast coming at you with 2 guest stars, not one, but two guest stars today. Old friends of the show.
And someone from Austria or Alaska or something just joined too.
What? They did?
Rod McLarge.
How you going?
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Rob's here too.
Yep.
Wow.
So he can talk about his arcade or his brewery stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
just a talking truck right now.
So today, hopefully somebody has posted this on Clav that we're having both Crafty
Already done.
and
Thank you.
YO Sam here, both old school friends of the show. They started with us doing this show, and then they both bailed.
Assholes.
But that's okay. That's okay. They do show up.
It's not their
They do
fault.
show up to Grinkers, so we get to give them hugs. And
Sometimes.
so, anyway, which one of you want to go first?
I'll go. I'm just kidding.
I'll go.
Jimbo, tell us about your video capture
fuck that
device.
game. I don't want to now.
Wait, why is Super Hang On naked from the top up?
It deserves to be.
Ah, Jesus.
That's terrible.
Because it's stupid, and the only way you get clear access at the monitor is to take the whole fucking coil off. The cowl, I mean. Coil.
Coil, shroud.
The last
Owl.
Yeah. And it fucking makes me nervous every time. I think that fiberglass, plastic, whatever it is going to just brittly break apart.
So was this a OCD problem or is this a real monitor problem?
Exactly what I asked him.
Because I'm going through all my games and wiring them up to be for direct recording and streaming. And of all the games, Super Hang On needs it the most because I don't want to have to take the whole fucking cowl off every time I want to record something. So it'll really benefit it because then I just open up the coin door. But of all these games, so half of them, I would say about let's see, so Tokyo was my first one, and that was a challenge, obviously. Arkanoid was a challenge. Cheyenne was a challenge, and now Super Hang On's being a bitch. And I figured out all the issues, and so of all these games, the one I thought would give me the least amount of problems is Super Hang On, and it's given me the most amount of problems. Because I forgot that originally when it's a K7000 monitor, and I thought, those things are workhorses. They're great, beautiful picture. But I forgot that originally when I was restoring this, that I had rebuilt. I recapped the monitor. I had thought that I forgot that there were bars, vertical bars, dark. They're just darker bars on the left side. It wasn't like they were just like black. It was darker than the rest of the image. There was like 4 of them, and I remember Buffett because I could not figure it out. I was just perplexed, and I remember Buffett telling me, try removing the monitor frame ground, because the frame of the monitor's grounded to earth. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. So I undid it. Problem went away. Beautiful picture. I'm like, what the fuck? All right. I'll go with it. Whatever. So I forgot that my monitor frame is not grounded, which is a curveball because the reason why I'm using the shielded cable is relies on that ground, because you have to ground the shielded cable. It has to that signal has to be drained, otherwise you introduce more noise. And so this has been a real bitch. So I'm like, crap. Now what I do? I can't, because if I try to frame that ground that frame, I get those bars again. And so I'm like, I open up, it's a fucking tiny little cabinet. You open up the door and everything's right there. And I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out, because I don't know if you saw my post in Slack, but I'm like, one of the byproducts of doing this project is I've realized how shitty some of the grounding is in my games, and I never noticed before. Like, they're like at least half my games were either incorrectly grounded or they were incomplete. So, like, and when I'm talking about the cabinets being grounded, if you open up a cabinet, it's usually like a braided wire. Sometimes it's a yellow banded wire that's stapled throughout the cabinet that's all connected to earth ground. And so some of my games, they like, some things just weren't even grounded, whether it's a control panel or the monitor or whatever. And so I've been fixing that as I've been going along, and so it's kind of it was a good byproduct, because I have been fixing a lot of my games in the process, even though you wouldn't necessarily notice it, but this one, I'm going through and I'm like, what the fuck? Everything but the power supply was properly grounded. And so I fixed that, and I just, for the life of me, cannot figure out what the issue is. So right now, as it sits, the game is perfect all by itself. But as soon as I plug in my my setup, my rig into this, it introduces extra noise. Basically, it's most noticeable around text. You get these extra, it almost looks like a drop shadow, and it looks absolutely terrible. And on top of that, part of that issue translates into the direct feed. You see a much lesser version of that. So I've been last night and today, I've spent hours trying to pinpoint where this issue is. And I've been up and down this cabinet, and I'm pulling out the last of my hair, basically. But I figured out it's kind of an ass backwards temporary solution, and that is basically I can't use shielded cable, because no matter what I do, no matter how I ground it, it introduces more problems. So I actually made another.
Originally, you said that would eliminate all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's not your only K7 that you're doing, right?
Right. Marvel Madness, no problems.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
exactly. So I can, for now, I'm happy enough with the solution until I figure out. Actually, I bring it up. I have a theory, but I can't really test it because. So I don't know. You guys can't probably see this, but the PCB is.
Yeah.
Okay.
We see the door. Yeah.
Do you see this piece of metal up here?
Yep.
Okay. This game has one of those filter boards, and my only theory is that all the issues. This is also grounded. The PCB is mounted onto a metal plate, and this all goes to there's an earth ground that goes into the cabinet wire, and that's how it was. And it doesn't matter if I remove that or not. But this little filter board up here has all these mullexes, and then on the other side it's the same thing. It's kind of like my Cheyenne has some, a lot of games have these filter boards, and in a case like Cheyenne, I just fucking remove that because you can just plug it directly into the board.
Right. Yeah, just introducing like one more error prone component.
Exactly. It could be basically like this day and age, it's basically just it could only introduce more issues.
Right.
It's like an antenna. But so that's my theory. But the problem is that it's male. It's like I think they're 0.100 pins headers on here, and it's male on both sides, and so I don't have any way that I can just directly plug them in. I've played around. I've played around the tension on these to see if that would I would see anything happen on the screen, and nothing. But that's the only thing that I haven't really tried is to directly plug them in. I've removed it from this metal and just taken, but that doesn't do anything. I need to just plug both sides in, and so I've been looking to see if there's some sort of like a double-sided header or something that I can just like plug both female connectors into each other directly.
All right, so the comic response, which is actually a serious response, but like, so Gino saying, "Well, just put a different monitor in there." Does that still get it? No. So he says, "Have you tried swapping in like a 4900?
No.
You still get the bars."
No, I have not.
So like maybe that monitor in that game is an issue.
Yeah, but these came stock.
No, I know.
K7000 came in Super Hang-On.
Yep.
So I mean, that's a great idea, but I mean, I don't have a good spare monitor that I would throw in here. I mean, but I could try like a
what might be interesting to like throw that monitor onto a different game and see if you have the same problems with a different game.
Well, I can kind of answer that right now.
Yeah.
Because I plugged Crafty's TPG in, and that does not exhume the same nice little plug.
Exhume? It doesn't raise from the grave.
Exhibit.
He said
oh wait, we're not talking about Altered Beast, right? Yeah. But the TPG does not exhibit the same issues. Right. No matter if the monitor's grounded or the frame is grounded or not. So it's something. Issue. It's something with in here, and this is the only curveball that I can at this point I can think of.
Throw the filter board back on.
What's that?
Throw the filter board back on.
It is on.
Oh, or take it off.
Well, yeah, you can take it off, but I can't plug it directly into anything then. Oh. That's what I'm saying. I don't have any way to put these female connector, because it's female connectors on both sides, male pins.
Right. Yep.
And I don't have, it's not
I was being
where
snarky, but yeah.
So yeah, I haven't been able to test that yet. That's my theory. So anyways, so that's it. That's one issue, and I've got if all else fails, I've got a solution that I'm fine with, even though it's not the best one.
You got J-Rock in there talking to you, Jimbo.
Make an adapter.
Tell him to make one for you.
Yes, make me one.
So he said that I missed the beginning, but when I replaced my flyback on Super Hang-On, I got the vertical bars.
Oh, when he replaced it? See, I didn't replace the flyback. This is an original.
It's an original flyback.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got to say about that, J-Rock? We'll have to wait a few seconds.
I gave up automatically replacing flybacks because nowadays it's a crapshoot. It doesn't matter what you get.
Oh, it was interesting though, because so Jimbo, this is onto you. So someone was just posting a Sharp 20001 on Clav, a rebuilt chassis with apparently a new flyback.
No.
Which I'm pretty sure those flybacks are impossible. Unobtainium.
I didn't see that.
So someone posted a 2000N. It was for, I think, originally out of like an R-Type, because they had the 20-inch monitors. So he said that he got one from somewhere. Shit, I'd have to look it up on Club, but he said that he got a fucking flyback that would work with those monitors, and that should work with our Red Tents.
Did it? Oh wow! Did it come from?
Yeah, it came from Europe,
England.
All right. Yeah, I say.
Yeah.
But so
I'll look that up. I'll look that up.
Yeah, look that up. I'd be curious because I just order some to have them on hand.
Fuck yeah, I would order like 4 of them, because I got one spare monitor. The only reason why I kept that monitor is because I was so terrified, because it still has the original flyback. So I rebuilt it with the original flyback, and that still
borrowed time.
So, if one of these goes out, I gotta have an extra monitor for the Red Tent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll look that up. But I'll
for sure. I'd be curious.
All right, total sidebar.
No, that's fine. So anyway, so that's it's one issue. But today, so I'm constantly looking at the game had been on for a while because I was repinning stuff. I wanted it to be warmed up, and I'm messing around. And I start noticing on top of all this, I start noticing that very intermittently, every once in a while, I start getting little blips on the screen. I'm like, motherfucker, like I don't have enough problems already. So like the image of just every, it could be 30 seconds, could be a minute, could be.
Can you show us? Show everybody live.
No, because I'm not going to turn this thing around. That's too much work. And I don't know. It's intermittent, so it's not. Anyways, so the image might jump a little bit. It might, and I'm like, motherfucker. So I plug Crafty's TPG in, ding. And it's doing the same thing on there. I'm like, fuck. So I'm sure that even though I recap this thing, I'm sure I need to reflow the fucking chassis. So I have to pull that off. I'm going to start with the pots because that's one thing. When you're replacing all those caps, obviously you're doing that, but the pots can be problematic. So I'm guessing I need to reflow that shit, and that's what it is. Marl Madness actually had, which the other K7000 had an issue originally where the contrast and brightness pots didn't do anything, and I would check them with my multimeter, and the pots were working. But that was actually the first time that I noticed a significant difference. It reflowing just those pots fixed it. Then I had full control. So hopefully that's the case here. I'm just gonna give the whole fucking thing a reflow maybe tomorrow or Thursday, and hopefully they'll fix that. I'm not as worried about that.
Reflow it all and let God sort it out.
Who was that? That's a nice segue. Actually, real quick, posted by Guts, Nintendo Sharp XM 2001 chassis. He said he got a flyback from arcadepartsandrepair.com.
Ah, Peter.
Yeah, Peter, our buddy Peter.
Woo!
So supposedly Peter, I don't know if I want to say this right now because I'm going to buy Peter out right now. I'm going down hard on Peter for fucking flybacks.
Where did you get that from? What chat?
This is on Clove.
Oh, Clove. Okay, sorry.
So yeah, Guts post. He posted Nintendo Sharp XM 2001.
She's a squirter. She's squirting. Peter, we got a squirter.
Peter.
We got a dust fucker.
Anyway, so if there are actual flybacks that work with these fucking chassis, that should be the same chassis for the Red Tent monitors. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And
how hard are those tubes to find?
Sorry?
How hard are the tubes to find for the Red Tents?
Impossible.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, because they're 18-inch tubes, so they don't exist.
A Red Tent turned up here in Australia for really cheap, missing the tubes. So.
Oh yeah, well,
that was one of the reasons why I got mine originally, even though it was a bastard, Frankenstein shit show. But both the monitors worked, and there was very little burn, if any.
Yeah, that's the monitors are worth more.
Everyone's always looking for looking for tubes. People are always looking for tubes. You don't see people like everyone. Like, someone posted and they're talking about how something about chassis are hard to find. I'm like, people are selling chassis all the fucking time. It's
the tubes. It's the tubes and it's the yokes that go bad, and the flybacks.
Oh yeah, thanks.
So he's asking $200 shipped for this fucking chassis, though.
It's not terrible to look at me for real long, but
yeah, I'm sorry.
Extended periods of time can hurt your retinas.
Is this
I love
getting
your
awkward?
shirt, Jimbo. It's a sweet shirt.
It's getting awkward.
Why is it so dark?
I don't know.
Yeah, what happened?
What happened?
I don't know.
Dark there, buddy.
Oh, did I mute Jim? Sorry,
Oh,
I muted you. Jim, did I mute you? I'm sorry.
No, you did the top one where you what was it called?
You kicked him? No.
No, there's a top. No, not kick. There's a thing that you could stop showing everybody.
Present. All right, so I'll present to everyone, and we can see Jim dark.
Yeah, he's still dark. You gotta hit. It's a top option.
Jim has good lighting.
There we go.
There we go. He's still muted. There we go.
Oh, fuck you!
Yeah, I hear that.
Not muted.
I fucking fixed it.
Jim, say, Alexa, turn the lights on.
Hilarious.
All right.
Well, to conclude, so That's the last. Super Hang-On's the last game in my row of games to be outfitted for recording and streaming, and then I have to move on to the Red Tent. Speaking of the Red Tent, which I think that's
going to be a nightmare.
That's going to be a bitch because I'm going to have to take that thing apart. Well, now I'm going to have to at least remove one of the monitors just to access everything, and then you have to deal with all the inverted shit.
Yeah.
So I'll figure it out now. After this pain in the ass, you know, what could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
So you've mentioned a couple of times. I don't know if anyone recognized Crafty Mech. We can't see him.
Yeah.
And you recognize that cogwheel.
Right? Because he's thinking so
But you
hard.
might have been to craftymech.com.
That's right. I have. I've been there.
Sorry, that was a punt, Aaron.
Oh, okay. So what's the topic? What's the?
So wait, now let's set this up a little bit.
All right.
So I think, was it us that requested, Aaron? I think it was us that asked if
somebody said you have to get your ass on here.
Yeah, because
you got a quota.
I've been seeing on Facebook.
Otherwise, you're booted off Slack.
I was about to say the same thing. That's right. You got a quota.
I think it was Facebook. Aaron Crafty Mech was posting updates about his latest bit kit, and he's been adding a lot of games and functionality. And I was like, hey, he should come on the show and talk about all these new features and these new games, because who wants a shitty 60-in-1 besides me?
Well,
So Crafty Mech has well, actually I'll let him explain it. But he has an awesome invention that he's created from using actual hardware instead of trying to mimic or do emulation. It's actual hardware running a lot of the old what games are they? The Rockola games. That's right.
Say, Golden Age. Let's say the Golden Age.
Golden Age, yeah. So you know,
Golden
in the past,
shower games.
in the past, I think it all started with fantasy, if I believe.
Nibbler.
Lover Boy, right?
And
So many things start with a fantasy.
Yeah. Nibbler was the that was the start of the project. Before Grinkers, before I actually played Nibbler, somebody was selling it. Clov user Marty McFly was selling a broken Nibbler board, and I thought, well, that'd be kind of fun. The hardware looks pretty simple, and I could try to fix that. And then about the same time, I was talking to Adam, One Circuit, pole position FPGA guy, about his project, and he had an old FPGA development board that he wasn't using anymore, and so I traded him a TPG for his old FPGA dev board, and he sent it to me. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to learn this, and at the same time, I'll see if I can fix this Nibbler. And then that kind of turned into, well, let's see if I can recreate, Nibbler on this FPGA dev board that Adam sent me. And that's kind of where the big kit got started.
So was this pre-Man versus Snake?
Yeah, well, and I knew of the movie. That's kind of why Nibbler was in my brain, was like the documentary had been in production for a few years, and I think it had actually came out, or was going to, no, it hadn't come out yet, but it was going to come out. And so I knew about it, so that's why Nibbler meant something to me, because otherwise I never saw that game as a kid. I never played it as a kid, which is pretty much true of all the Rockola games. I don't think I saw a single one of those in the wild. But then again, I lived in the mountains, so we didn't get shit. We had one movie theater in town, and the screen was too small to fit all of Darth Vader's helmet on it. So that was kind of my life growing up. But anyway. So I mean, but that's what I ended up doing over like 2 to 3 months. I recreated Nibbler on this FPGA board, and I got it going. And that's when I made the post on Clov, and the project kind of started. And then it turned into, well, how about other Rockola games? And that was Fantasy and Pioneer Balloon. They ran on the same hardware, and Vanguard did too. And then I added Zarzan, and that's about the time the product came out. But before it came out, about 6 months before it came out, I kind of switched directions where I said it's not just going to be Nibbler and a bunch of these, other Rockola games that run on that same hardware. I'm going to set it up so that I can have multiple hardware platforms And so that took a little bit longer, and I had to work out a whole way that was going to work. And then, so when I released it, it was just Nibbler and Pioneer Balloon Fantasy, etc. But then about 3 months later, I added Eyes and Mr. TNT and Agor.
The important games.
The important games. Agor, which was kind of like an Eyes variant.
That's
and
a cool
then,
game.
Yeah,
and
I
then,
mean, these are system sellers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Agor is a system seller, let me tell you. Oh, the amount
Such an attractive name.
And then, and so then I switched to the pack games. I have the pack game, well, like Miss Pack and Pack and Pack Plus, because they all run very same hardware as Eyes. Eyes is basically just Pac-Man with a bootleg Pac-Man board. And then that led to some other ones like Pingo and Lizard Wizard, and then the Glob and Beastie Beastie. And that was the fun thing about this project is the more games I added, I found all these weird ass games I'd never played, never even heard of, never played. I mean, I'd heard of the Glob, but I'd never played it, and so
It's a good game.
I like that game.
So like the Glob,
Beastie Feasty.
Oh my god, I love that game now.
I love Beastie Feasty. Like I like Beastie Feasty better than the Glob because the Glob is like really hard, like really fast.
Yeah.
And Beastie is kind of a bit more gradual, and you got that little blob thing that's kind of a bit cooler.
Testicles.
Toby.
Yeah,
Toby,
you can't.
the testicle.
Yeah, you gotta love playing a ball sack. Like,
He's blue.
Basically a walking ball sack.
Yeah.
Hi.
And so
Peter. I'd love to have a good time.
I want to press your buttons.
Wait, well, I gotta. Oh shit, where was that one?
Hi, I'm Wally the Penis, and I just love to have
like
fun.
3 months since it's been out, and now we've got 3 platforms. So the most recent games out have been Scramble hardware, so it's been Super Cobra Scramble, Anteater, Jump Bug, which was really fun to do. I like that game a lot.
I love Jump Bug.
And yeah, so that's kind of where it's at. But the biggest challenge with it always comes down to the audio, because a lot of these games had, like Jump Bug, for instance, had a lot of little analog circuits on it for doing different sound effects that MAME has none of them, or has half of them. So, figuring that out and adding that, and that's always kind of a bit of a challenge, but that's been good. I ran a sale in February that went really well. Now, I've got my vendors have it again. So Arcade Shop, Paradise, High Score Saves. Somebody else? No, I think that's it. No, yeah, that's it. That's right.
So when are you gonna get Rastan?
Yeah.
I need Loverboy.
Loverboy. Wait, that's basically Pac-Man, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
There's just
How
like
about
an
Street
extra.
Fighter 2?
There's like 2K, there's like a 2K of extra memory, and that's it. Yeah, I like the Golden Age stuff, 79 to 83. It's all that same class of hardware that was pretty basic. You had a 64K system total or less. It was 8 bits. You had 4 to 8K of graphic memory. You had 16 to 24K of code. So all that fits inside the FPGA that's on the bit really easily.
Nice.
Because the BitKit is streamlined. I streamlined it for, production costs and for my investment to get those the board runs done. So it's not going to do like CPS1, Capcom, Street Fighter type stuff. It's not that powerful enough to do that.
So how many games can you load up on it?
Well, right now you can do 20. You do 24 right now, but I'm expanding it. I'm working on it right as we speak to up to 30. So it's going to be 30. You can put 30 different. It doesn't support 30 games today, but you can do you'll be able to do up to 30 different games. By that, I mean you can also do like ROM variations and stuff like that. So
yeah,
right now
Fast
it supports,
Pack and Slow Pack.
Yeah, I mean right now it supports like 21 games. But it also supports 4 different pack bootlegs. Joyman, which is my favorite, Hangly Man, and I forget the other one, Miss Pack Plus, something like that. So
yeah, it's interesting too that most of these games, I think all of these games are all vertical style too.
Well, it's all vertical, yeah, because the menu's vertical, everything's vertical. So I've just stuck with vertical only. And most of that Golden Age stuff, a lot of it was vertical. I mean, I don't know why they did that initially, but it seemed to be the thing.
So this sounds like something that would go well in a cocktail. Does it support flipping mode? If it, if...
it
Doesn't sound like a selfish question at all.
No.
If you want to,
well, that's what we're here for.
If you want to flip the cocktail, you can. It's got flip screen in the menu, so you can flip the screen if your monitor yoke, so you don't have to flip the wires in the yoke. But you can. It also supports 2-player cocktail. I actually have a guy who has a 2-player, well, 2-player, of course, but it's a cocktail Vanguard, which I didn't even know it existed when I created the board, but I added it in for you to be able to do 2 players in cocktail on a Vanguard with 4 buttons on each side. And he's actually got one, and he has a bit kit. So I'm going back and forth with him on. He's going to wire it up and see if he can get it running. So
that's badass.
Yeah.
And Crafty's like upgrade system is awesome. You just hook it up to Windows little application.
Yeah.
Windows and Mac.
Instead of an SD card, I've got a Windows and Mac app and a USB cable. So for me, I just leave the USB cable connected, and I just open the coin door, grab the cable, hook it up to my laptop.
Then I do too.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually, my eyes cabinet's all blistered now.
Vision, make it wireless.
Yeah, I thought about that. That's one thing I thought about. There's a lot of things I thought about now. I thought I should have done that, but maybe BigKit 2.0. Yeah.
J-Rock will make you an adapter.
Yeah, that's right.
He's in the chat. Just ask him now.
I know. J-Rock's never been in our chat.
But Crafty, your next payday there, you're going to be getting an order to Canada.
Oh, okay.
That's
your next payday or my next payday?
Well, my next payday.
Your next his
Tuesday.
next payday is going to be your next payday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The shipping will cost as much as a TPG.
So
he's gonna install it in his track and field.
He better get a bulk order going together there.
I ship USPS first class to Canada. It costs about $12.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We always joke about their shipping.
So that's $12. That's 20 Canadian.
20 Canadian. Yeah.
Plus border fees, so about 30.
Sometimes I mark them down on the form there. I won't talk about that.
But it sounds pretty legit there. The quote from Tim McVeigh.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. I worked with Tim before I released it. I worked with Tim on testing it, and I actually sent him a prototype board, and he got it running in his nibbler that he has in his basement. And I mean, he gave me some things on the sound that we kind of went back and forth on. And we worked that out, and then he basically said, "Yeah, I can't tell the difference between it."
You mean the music?
Well, no, not the music. Yeah, not the nibbler. Good question. But just the nibbler sound section was pretty scuzzy, and so I added some extra filtering on the output to actually make it worse, and that sounded more like
To quote.
Would Jim be able to tell the difference on eyes?
Well, Jimmy was my test guy for eyes, and he ran it, and I believe he said the
gameplay was spot on. Early on, the audio was a little tinny.
Yeah,
and then I think you fixed that,
Yeah, the audio is always a little tricky because of just how digital is so much more brighter and tinnier, and so. There's some things you can do in digital with filtering that kind of takes it down a notch, but makes it a bit more natural. But it never is quite 100% the same as like the analog audio on those boards. Because
I could still barely tell, but that's only if I switch back and forth.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think the first time I played yours, I think I got like 5 million right out of the chute.
Yeah, you did.
And then I just stopped playing. And I'm like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm doing for Jim, though. I am adding, and I am working on that. I'm adding a couple extra digits to the score for
wow, that's cool.
For TNT. And for
it's like the Rainbow Edition of Robotron.
So you'll be able to upload that score too, because I'm not that good at eyes. My high is like 300-400, but TNT I got up to almost 900,000. I'm like, well. I better add those extra digits, so when I do roll it, I'll get that million plus score. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So you're currently working on Scramble. I thought you were finished with Scramble.
Scramble's done. I'm just there's a repeating refrain here when I talk about I'm working on a little bit of audio fixes. There's always like audio fixes. So I'm working on some audio fixes for Scramble and Super Cobra, which I'm done with. I'm just testing them, and they'll be part of the next update. And then Amadar is actually the next game that'll be coming out.
Nice. And Amadar is your next one? Okay.
Yeah, so Amadar, and then after that, I'm looking at The End. These are other Scramble hardware games. The End, Turtles, Armored Car. There's a possibility. So
Turtles, Armored Car.
Not Turtles in Time.
No.
Turn version of Turtles. Yeah.
That's a different project you're working on to drop all those high-priced PCBs.
No. Before you start feeding Crafty new projects, we need him working on Red Tent shit.
Yeah. Can you take that on, please? That's the one multi-game I want.
I know. Well, but that was. We should talk about that real quick.
Every once
like
in a while,
that was the one.
Thread gets bumped.
I know.
Nazarene comes back.
Comes back. He's like from the dead.
Yeah, once a year.
It's not dead, but like, all right, it's like fine. Fucking just release your source code.
I just got to recompile and it's finished. And I was like,
yeah. No, like
that thread will get bumped, and I'll be like, "Ooh, I wonder what." Oh, it's just someone being like, "Is this project still going?" Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know,
while they wait for puberty to occur.
Yeah.
That explains the voice cracking.
Beastie guy.
Hey.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Nazarene on Clav has been working on a versus multi-board for 3-4 years now.
Project was announced.
Not quite that long, but it's been a long time. So he's been talking about teasing having a multi-versus board, which would be for anyone who owns a versus upright or a Red Tent. This is like heaven.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I will pay so much money for him to finish this project. He actually talked to me years ago. I'm sure I talked about in the show, probably when it first came out, but about helping him out doing artwork for the menus. But,
you would have to get Nintendo's blessing and licensing for that stuff.
Well,
it will never
theoretically, that's true. However, I think it's such a small market that people like. Well, no, there's already the multi kit to do the who sells it?
The
High Score Saves. Yeah, the cheapy version of this.
Look at what J-Rex.
And he's never gotten busted. But he's never gotten busted for that, and that shit's for sale right now, and it's been for sale for a while. So there's a way to add on one side, which allows you to play off. What is it, like 6 games per side or something like that? So it's like sort of a multi for the verses, but it's a limited version. What Nazarene's talking about is a version where you could play all the versus games and potentially all the NES games.
Oh boy.
On a Red Tent or versus upright.
Just maim your Red Tent. It's easy.
What's that?
Just maim the Red Tent.
You're right.
Yeah.
So actually,
you're like,
plug
my NES into.
Actually,
all the trees put into LCDs.
What'd you say, Sam?
Mark, you want to help me with mine?
While you guys are on this subject, I kind of want to interrupt because there's a guy on Clav. I don't know how interested you guys are in this stuff, but there's a guy on Clav named TSB that I've been working with who actually has made what he calls the Play Choice 1, which is essentially a Play Choice 10 for your NES. So he actually developed it for his own Red Tent, and I actually have it right here.
Oh, shit.
So you can kind of... see it. I haven't installed it. I haven't installed it yet.
We got an exclusive here, everybody.
Right?
What is that? All right, Sam, let me present you. Hold on.
Yeah, but back away a little bit. It's
right here. So this is actually the prototype he sent me. He's TSB on Clav. He's doing a really small run right now because he just wants to see how it's going to be received. But basically what this does is it turns any Nintendo into a Play Choice 10. So it has a timer and everything, just like a Play Choice 10 has. It's super simple to install. He's got dip switch settings on here, so you can adjust the amount of time per quarter, and also you can set it to free play as well. So this is going in the Legend of Zelda. I was supposed to do it this last weekend. I just got super busy, but he developed this for his own Red Tent because he wanted to do exactly what you just said, Andrew, which was turn it into a multi-NES. So he has one side, I think, that runs a Nintendo, and then the other side runs a regular board or something like that.
But can you sorry, I don't interrupt, Sam, but can you run versus games, like versus versions of games on the Red Tent? So like the versus version of like Super Mario Brothers.
That's so beyond me. I don't know. I think he had one side doing versus, and then he had the other side with a multi NES, like a Play Choice or something. I'm not an electronics guy. This is super easy to install. He sent me pictures, only a few steps to put it in there. But basically, so now any, and this was the one thing that I couldn't do, Andrew, because you were there with me when I was trying to turn The Legend of Zelda into a coin-up game. And went through all those Play Choice 10
we
parts,
went through my Red Tent doing it too.
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to allow me to actually make The Legend of Zelda coin up now, and it can make any Nintendo game coin up now, any Famicom game coin up now, anything like. He's working on one for the Super Nintendo and also ColecoVision and some of the other systems as well. So. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to share this with you.
Yeah, no. So this show actually isn't scripted. But what a fucking perfect segue into who the fuck are you, Sam?
Wait a minute.
It's almost like we meant to make this happen, but like
that's a great transition. But Crafty, I wanted Crafty to promote one more thing real quick,
dude.
Yeah,
I know.
You're ruining it, Mom.
Dude.
You're ruining it.
I am, but
dude,
inconceivable.
But it's not. I think it's unfair that Crafty Mech did not talk about his TBG at all.
Okay.
Just because
we all love it.
A lot of people don't know what that is, and I think since
who here does not own a TPG?
A lot of people don't actually.
The who on the show?
I don't. I borrow them when I need it.
All right.
Not that package.
Just real quick, so then we'll move on to
100%. Like Crafty's TPG is a fucking that was a game changer.
It's an amazing piece of technology.
I talked about it early on.
Yep.
So we got Gax here.
Please,
you're gonna be at Grinkers this year?
Yeah. Speaking of recapping monitors.
Holy fuck!
Canadian TPG.
I say, kill it.
So for people out there that don't know what a TPG is,
I got one right here.
It's a portable 9-volt battery-driven test pattern generator for standard and medium resolution arcade monitors with an on-screen menu.
You need a longer acronym for it then.
So hence, when you take your monitor out and you're doing a cap kit, and then you don't want to have to spend 25, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, putting it back in your cabinet, hooking everything up and checking it, all you got to do is sit at your workstation, plug it in.
Sponsored by Duracell.
And then boom, you get to see.
Sponsored by Duracell.
You get to see if the colors are working. You do test patterns on it, different things.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
RGB cut off there on the dip switches. Plus,
it's all different modes.
Inverting for Nintendo Sanyo Sharp monitors.
Yep.
And some miscellaneous dips there on the right that I'm not sure what they do anymore. So,
if you're gonna do a cap kit, you should probably own one of these.
If you work in arcade games, you better have one of these.
You should. It just makes things a lot more easier.
There's no question.
When I was working on Spy Hunter, it was a real pain in the ass to keep trying to get it back in and hook it up to see if it's working right. It was so much easier to use a TPG setup and go, okay, everything's looking great, and then you can dial it in and make sure all your colors are lined up and all that.
People remind me all the time. Jack just reminded me in the chat. It doesn't have a power LED, so you do have to kind of remember to turn it off.
Some people, well, there's already a YouTube channel on doing that though.
I have killed several batteries.
Yeah,
in my TPG.
Yeah.
You gotta turn them off.
There's a YouTube. I think Delusional Arcade posted how to install an LED into your TPG.
That's right. Yeah. And the next run of boards, I might actually spring to get a little surface mount LED on there. If I can, I was concerned about battery, but if I put a big enough resistor in line with it, it should be bright enough to see, but it won't drain the battery too much. So.
There you go.
Crafty, can you do a special
2.0
mod just for me? One that'll actually perform the cap kit too.
Really.
That's what I need.
I mean, Chris, you're right.
34 on my arm is starting to hurt there.
No, keep holding it up. Hold it up. We're still doing product.
Just a little longer.
Jack, I'll do it for 10 buffets.
Oh,
Don't
man.
you use
All right.
Count me in.
I'm so excited. Gak's here too.
Like on that note, I gotta go.
Reunion.
It's like a You're staying, fucker.
and you'll like it. Yeah.
We need our sound effects.
Actually, I've been refraining from
do that.
Yeah.
I have noticed the restraint.
All right, so Wyo, I'm sorry for that segue, but I wanted to make sure Crafty Mac got in to talk about TPG a little bit, just because
awesome.
Because 200 people, that was only 200, but there's 200 people that download this show and watch it on YouTube, and I just want
and
other
100
arcade...
of them are Seabart.
He's making
all
a
our fake accounts to try to get our numbers up.
He's making a huge DVD set to give away.
Fuck that. Ask Crafty Mac a question.
Sure.
Are you going to be at Grinkers this year?
I will. I will. Yeah, I was there last year. I wasn't there the year before, but
Could you bring me a bit kit and I'll pay you cash?
Oh yeah, I could do that.
She usually brings a stack.
Yeah, definitely. I'll grab one while I'm there.
Aaron never leaves with any TPGs. Usually,
That's right. No, that'd be cool. Yeah, I met Nick and his wife in LA when I was there just a couple weeks ago with my wife for her business, and so I think I've got my wife on board maybe to go this next time. So
what?
Hey,
wow.
cool.
Because Nick's wife was like, "You have to go. There need to be more girls there."
Well, and Beth is awesome. People like
Beth is great, and we'll see. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go. Either me and Beth. So.
Or just Beth, maybe.
Right, yeah, maybe.
That'll be good to meet you.
Really, we're just trying to up the girl factor.
Sure.
So just send your wife.
How much for your wife?
I went last year, and I know there were some people there that I meant to meet. Like I know Jack was there last year, this last October, and I don't think I said hi to him, and a few other people too. I know.
Right.
Jack,
asshole.
Yeah, Jack is in the IRC.
Yeah. I'm not the most extroverted kind of guy, as you might have being an engineer kind of guy. So
guy without a webcam.
Without a webcam, yeah.
Yeah.
Crafty, you might have been a ninja, but I still got my bro hug.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Sorry, but you're kind of in the middle of the pack. Buffett won that competition.
What? I'm sorry. I heard one nut, but that's not what you said.
I heard what you wanted to hear.
You were in the middle of the pack in hugs. Buffett won the competition.
Okay. Well, he's.
I've never been dirty dancing like above someone's head before, but
he could give you a piggyback ride. I mean, he's a big guy.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, just buy Crafty Mac a root beer float, and he'll talk you to TPGs. So back to the
Wyo
and
let's
slash Sam.
Let's go Nintendo crazy.
So let's just give a little intro to Wyo here. Wyo, long time ago, we're talking like. First Grinkers, I think, that I met Wyo that I went to. Second one for me. I mean, it was the first time I went. Second, it was the Grinkers 2 or Grinkfest 2. No, it was 2.
Was it 2 you went? Okay.
2 on I've been. And that's where I met Sam, Wyo on Club. And I remember him telling me, I'm thinking about doing like a Mega Man arcade cab or maybe like a Zelda one or something like that. Wouldn't that be cool? And that's, I think, the rest was history, as people say. Because
are you claiming the thought of his creativity there?
No, he said it to me.
He's planting the seed.
I'm just doing a setup that way back in fact at Grinkers 2, Greenfest 2, he was telling me about his idea for doing this, and I was like, "Yeah, do it. That sounds awesome." Then he was asking me questions about my MAME cabinet, how I set things up and stuff, and he went a different route. He actually went a more streamlined route than I would do, because I was like, "Oh, maybe you can solder, the buttons to the pads in the NES controller." And he ended up finding, I think, Sam, you found an adapter or something, right?
No, I did what you just said. The NES. I went through so many different.
Okay, well, I'll let you talk about it. So anyway,
first I want to say, look, this is one of my first purchases as an arcade. It's a scanline generator from Aaron.
Crafty
so,
Mac.
I still got it.
Yeah. I have one of them. Yeah,
it's just crazy. That was my first product. Yeah.
It's crazy to me that I'm friends with innovators like this and stuff like that. When I was doing all my research for like these builds and stuff, so I think that's really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
But Aaron, I wanted to ask you real quick, if watching Star Wars was hard at your movie theater, like because Darth Vader's helmet didn't fit, how did you watch Spaceballs?
I think we drove to Denver for that one.
Yeah. You had to go to a drive-in.
That's right. We had a rough.
Anyways, yeah.
Some guy sat in the back of the theater and just wound his arms really fast, and that was the projector. It was rough growing up.
Sounds like Wyoming.
Yeah.
Dude, let's not get started about
fucking Wyoming.
Yeah, that's all inside stories.
In Colorado, jumping off the third floor of a window, getting blown by the wind 50 meters sideways, and then failing on a fence. That's
on the bike rack.
How do you fall 60 feet down and 60 feet sideways? Only in Wyoming.
That's Wyoming, man.
I'm
sure he wasn't
onto a bike rack.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wasn't aiming. He thought he was going to have flat cement, and he ended up hitting the bike rack 60 feet that way. But anyways, that's sad.
That's a terrible story.
Just doing the Nintendo thing. Still, slightly obsessed.
So, okay, what was your first cab? Yeah, let's start with your first cab and where you've gone from there. Yeah.
I mean, your first cab was my 3 Red 10s.
So no, actually, Andrew, you remember I met you at the Rocky Mountain Pinball Showdown. Remember? Yep. I showed up and I came up to this guy I don't know who's like 18 feet tall, and I was like, "Hey, can I come over to your house?" You know what I mean?
He wanted to measure my fucking Donkey Kong.
Oh, yeah, I thought you did.
I brought my yardstick.
You did.
Anyway, so yeah, that was what happened. I remember I went over to your house. Yeah. I showed up with a notepad and a measuring tape and just backpack full of stuff, and I just started measuring your Donkey Kong. Then I ended up going and getting that red Donkey Kong.
That sounds so dirty.
I know. I just met him on the
internet. He went and bought this red Donkey Kong.
So then I went and bought that red Donkey Kong right there.
When you measured his Donkey Kong, was it bigger than you thought it was going to be? Or?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not going to lie, it was a lot smaller.
It's bigger in the
movies. Oh, fuck.
It lost inches.
You've been outed.
All right, guys. It's time to come clean with you.
All 30 people in the IRC know it now. Yeah.
Shoe size doesn't matter.
You heard it live.
It turns out it's only this big.
He was trying to get me to measure Cabaret, but it was too small.
Microcom.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean that's what happened. That red Donkey Kong that's sitting behind him has spawned. I'm on my 17th now, I think. My 17th Nintendo cabinet.
Holy shit! I didn't know you've done that many. Oh
yeah, God. It's been a journey, man. It's been a lot of fun. It's been challenging, but it's also been a lot of fun.
And you cut them all by hand, right? You're not CNC router.
I do it all by hand. Everything's.
Oh, you must be able to just build those things in your sleep now.
I built 3 in 2 days this week.
So, man, now it's like automatic mode.
So do you have like a template you go off of, or is it?
Yeah,
like you're kind of following a template when you do it.
Are these all for yourself,
what I
or are you selling them, or what?
Yeah, no, I'm not selling anything. I know some of them I've sold, but I just got to keep making them. I've got all these ideas. It's a problem with this thing. It's so addictive, and you run out of space.
There's so many fucking Nintendo games.
So let's back up to your first. Let's back up to your first one and talk about what problems you had and what it was and what problems you had doing it.
So the first 2 cabinets that I built were a Fix-It Felix and a Donkey Kong Pauline edition. Andrew actually programmed. I'm not a computer guy. I'm not good with the electronics, and that's why I don't have Aaron's TPG or whatever. So I had. Andrew programmed the computer for me on that one, but I just built the cabinets. You know, I bought the art from Riddick. Rick was pioneering kind of custom back then, and then the art kit from This Old Game for Donkey Kong Pauline. And after I built those, I was like, well, what can we do next? You know, like what would be fun to do? And then Zelda was the first, and then actually Andrew gave me the idea for Mega Man, and this guy Philly Billy, who used to be on Clav, who's not there anymore that much, I don't think. He gave me the idea for DuckTales, and then now I'm doing Mighty Final Fight. I'm working on a Ghostbusters cabinet, which I built.
Oh, sorry. While you're talking, Andrew, you can present me, and I have a slideshow of his work.
Done.
So I just love doing it. It's fun. You know, I get to do everything I love to do: paint, build, you know, graphic design, the artwork. And the simplest solution for me, I started out with a PC-10. I was, like you said when I met you, Steve, I couldn't decide. I wanted it to coin.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah, that's a great pick. Love it.
That's Oregon Trail.
Okay, good. You guys can see it.
Oregon Trail was for High Scores Arcade out in Alameda. I did 2 of them for him this last year, and I'm doing another one for him now as well. A new project right now.
Should I step through these as you talk about them instead of just? It's because right now it's just running a slideshow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about first? And I'll put it on there. Why don't we go back to your
just
first
talk about
game?
Zelda. Zelda was the first one that I did.
Okay, so there's a little Zelda playing it.
Yeah, that was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo in October. You know, it's been crazy. It's been a lot of fun, and people, you know, it's kind of cool because it's connecting the retro gamers with the arcade guys and stuff like that. You know, and they kind of connect to both and stuff like that. So that's been really, really cool. But the whole concept was, what if they made it back then? What would it have looked like? And then I just took it to the next level, to my obsessive ability. You know, so. Just kind of went over the top because I made.
So that first Zelda one, was that painted or was that
man? I went
your painting. Please talk about your painting.
I went through a whole evolution process. You know, because I was going to do Play Choice 10. I was going to do a computer. I bought 3 Play Choice 10 boards and I sold them, and I bought them back and I sold them. Long story short, I ended up just putting an NES in there, and like I said, I had to compromise the fact that I couldn't get them to coin up, but whatever, they're just for show, you know what I mean? And they were just for me and stuff. But I built a cabinet, and at the time I wanted to put gold T-molding on there, and you can only get that in 3/4 inch. So I built a 3/4 inch cabinet. It just looked off.
Wow.
It just looked
dedication. Off. I thought I had OCD.
It looked off, you know, because the standard size is like 5/8 or 1/2 inch. And so I ended up getting rid of that cabinet, and they came out with 5/8 inch gold T-molding. So I was able to rebuild that cabinet. I did a gold vinyl wrap on it. Didn't look right. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna paint them, and so that's what that is.
You guys,
it's all odd bottom.
Look at the reflection.
Yeah,
the gold paint and the art off the side of that fucking Zelda
beautiful.
cabinet.
That is just. I'm touching my nipples right now.
Seriously, look at the fucking gloss reflections.
Look at those unique speaker grills.
Yeah, I love that.
Speaker grills is like
really,
that.
I'd prefer a matte finish. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, Sam's finishes.
I don't want to see my ugly
person. I don't know how many of you guys have seen these things in person, but I've seen these all in person, except for DuckTales. I've seen Mega Man and Zelda in person. They're fucking amazing.
I love these.
The finish, the quality finish is.
It looks so like it's better than what they would have put out.
It's breathtaking. It really is breathtaking.
Thanks, guys.
Do you get nervous moving those? Like there might be a blemish.
Yeah, you know. So I've actually built three Zeldas, and then 2 DuckTales, and that's the original Mega Man. I still have that, but. Yeah, I've gotten over it though, just because I've taken them to Arizona, and I was really worried about that. But the games performed flawlessly for 3 days, and didn't have a single issue with them. And then Portland, I've got like 60 hours just into that bezel. I mean, just.
I assume that you're using just like a standard TV of sorts.
Yeah, it's just a TV and an NES, like Mock said, wired to the control panels. It was the simplest solution, and it allowed me to be able to do more games. I'm not going to keep buying Play Choice 10 parts and taking them out of circulation, and then also, you know, spending all that money, and it's all going up now because everybody wants it, you know. So
yeah, Princeton, you'll get the NES modders that are like, can I have a straight RGB for the best possible?
Yeah. Well, okay, so the NESs aren't getting cheaper either.
No, and TVs are getting so hard to find now. Like with these 3 that I'm doing right now, I'm doing a new DuckTales, and it actually looks like a bank vault. Like it's got rivets and all that stuff. I'm painting it.
Cool.
I've just built it this week. It's going to be silver with metal flake in it. I'm doing giant dollar signs on the side of it that are going to be gold, you know.
So Sam, you have to talk about what you told me about how many times and how much painstaking detail you put into cutting out the foil, because this is all hand cut out.
Wow. Oh, damn.
So the shiny bits.
Yeah, so that bezel was that bezel right there, that DuckTales bezel. I mean, you just look at it for 2 seconds, but you don't see. I spent almost a year trying to figure that damn thing out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, because just the composition of it and stuff, it was tough. But one day I got it right before I took him to Arizona, so it was pretty awesome. But Mega Man, that one I redid that bezel about 6 times, about 5 hours each, just to get it right. You know. Just all that embossing and stuff. I do it all by hand. You know, it can be done by computer, but I prefer to do it by hand just because it's more of like a hands-on artistic process and stuff like that. So
that's why these games are only $100 each, you know.
Yeah. What Sam has done here, I mean, this is fucking art. This is this is arcade art taken to the next fucking level.
Damn straight.
I mean, it really is an artistic thing that he's doing. The cabinets are so carefully crafted. The artwork is so carefully put together. He does what he can in the computer, but like the shit that he does by hand that's practical art is fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah. I used to cut frisket for airbrush, and I know what a pain in the ass it is to cut out, you know, delicate foil. Oh, my God. Forget about it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, all that time in Wyoming, you know, I went to college in Wyoming. There's nothing to do, man.
Oh my God, dude.
No wonder you're so thick-skinned. No.
I should not be surprised. The conversation keeps coming back to Wyoming.
Yeah, right.
I was teaching myself that embossing technique. You know, it took me a year. I went through so many different like ways of doing it and stuff, and so it's really cool. I used to make custom GI Joe packaging.
GI Joe thing, yeah. Please talk about the GI Joe stuff.
Well, so that's where it all originated. I was trying to duplicate this chrome effect on these G.I. Joe packaging that was popular in the mid-2000s and stuff. And so I went through this whole process, and, you know, there's 10 months of winter there. I mean, it snows in June. So, like, there's nothing to do, man. So
and when the snow melts, it's still fucking Wyoming.
Exactly.
That's the wah, wah.
I was inside, and I was able to come up with that process, and DuckTales is kind of the culmination of that skill, just because I was able to do a different, like I don't know if you have a close up of the control panel, but like I have two different colors on there.
Grill. Somewhere in here.
I put Scrooge's number 1 dime right there. You can see it right by the hole for the control panel.
Yeah.
I mean for the joystick. That's a chrome finish, and I have the gold chrome everywhere else. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun figuring these out, and that's what I love about doing them. Ghostbusters, I got the
I haven't showed those yet.
Oh fuck.
Ghostbusters, I'm doing all the artwork from scratch. I'm hand drawing everything.
That's crazy.
I'll show you. I have a few pictures that he's
here's the siren. I made this siren.
Oregon Trail.
You guys want to
Oregon Busters.
Oh, don't open the porn folder.
All I have is like a couple things.
That's the
it's the fucking storage container.
Yeah.
Wow.
The light is green. The trap is clean.
He's got the lever fucking put on there.
That's the coin door.
Holy
for
fuck!
Ghostbusters.
Damn, that's awesome.
That's crazy.
Dude, I want that on my fucking Ghostbusters pin.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So that light is going to be all those lights work there, but I'm going to have the green light up. And actually, I'm talking to Aaron. I know he's super busy, but like just to kind of try to, you know, maybe we can work something out where we can get his help
electronics
to wire this thing up. Because I'm going to need help. I'm like those lights light up, you know, and it would be cool. Like you know, before you put a quarter in, it's red, and then when you put the quarter in, it turns green. You know, like the light is green. You know, the trap is clean or whatever. You know what I mean? So just fun little touches like that. The containment unit. I still need to make a sticker for it and stuff.
It's your favorite, Andrew.
Dude, seriously. I'm having conniptions right now, but like I fucking love it.
This is the siren for the topper. I made this all by hand. This is all hand sculpted.
Present Sam.
Yep.
I don't see it on YouTube.
Holy shit!
Sam, sorry.
Oh,
that porn.
So stuff like this, you know. So I think
show it some more because we just started presenting you.
Oh, I see. So this is the siren that's going on the top. I built the whole topper. I think I sent you.
Oh, I have it here. I have a picture.
Mock.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Mock's got it. Oh yeah, look at that.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's that light. Everything's made by hand. That's actually an old, and it has the old spinning, you know, the old spinning bulbs, you know, with the mirrors and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do LEDs.
So this is the NES version of Ghostbusters that's going in there.
So this is so what this is going to be, there were 3 NES games that came out. That's the speaker grill. So that's all
holy
hand sculpted.
shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did you make that?
I like this tank too. It's cool.
I sculpted
that
it.
by hand?
How did you carve that?
It's out of MDF. This is everything's made out of MDF. This is actually 6 sheets of MDF.
Dude, that's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, Sam, you've gone fucking like next goddamn level.
He's leveled up.
Yeah.
So,
and it looks fantastic.
So that
Leveled
logo,
up.
Yeah, that logo was sculpted
Buffett's
out of
here.
MDF, just with like a Dremel and
Is
stuff. So
Buffett
that's
here?
all going to be.
Yeah, he just commented.
And it looks fantastic.
Oh,
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah,
that looks badass though, man.
Thanks, man.
That's
So that,
Tits McGinnis.
yeah, it's just everything's from scratch. Everything's by hand. That's just sculpted by hand. It's going to be painted red, and I'm doing an automotive paint job. It's the theme of the cabinet is it's going to look like the Ecto one. The artwork is going to be chrome. It's going to look like the Ecto one. You know,
you need to open up your own version of like a Nintendo Cade or something where you know.
Well, yeah, I'm going to be buried. I'm going to be buried with all these cabinets because I can't stop making them and I can't sell them. Anyway,
I only have 3. Yeah, I only have 3 pictures. So, but here, let's go back to Sam's where he can present.
That'd be a cool venue. I'll people coming to play arcade versions.
So I was going to say there were 3 NES games for Ghostbusters. The first 2 American versions sucked. They were horrible, but there was a really fun PAL version that came out overseas. Really fun, and that's what this cabinet is going to be for. It's new Ghostbusters 2. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I got a couple of copies of that. Do you want some?
What?
what?
Did you say coffee? No, it's
Copies of that game. 'cause
Oh no! Actually, someone sent me a slime cartridge, a custom cartridge that looks like it's full of. Yeah, so I have that. That's going to go in the cabinet too. But all the artwork I'm drawing by hand. So
Jesus.
Yeah, so I have some pictures here actually of some of the illustrations I'm doing. But like Oregon Trail, all that art's original. That was hand drawn, and that was it's just fun stuff like this, you know.
Did you go to school to draw? Like
that's Egon.
Oh wow!
Awesome.
Oh, how fun.
This is gonna be on the bezel. That's
Winston.
That's Bill Murray, right?
Bill Murray.
Eddie Murphy.
This is Ray. You know.
Brilliant.
That's so awesome.
So
all
it's all
big
gonna be
head
original.
mode.
And the reason why I'm doing it, I want to start doing my own original art. Because Zelda, you know, I've had a couple people copy it, and there's actually a really shitty Zelda on eBay right now.
Yep.
Oh, I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, we've
we reamed them.
And I have no legal recourse, you know. And I emailed the guy. I was like, dude, you're copying my stuff, man. And they just chewed me out, called me all kinds of names. You know, you're a whiny bitch. Just be happy for me. Stuff like that. So it sucks, man. You know, when you put hundreds and hundreds of hours into stuff and you're not making any
it was
money
so
doing
blatantly obvious too. We were talking about
I brought it up on the show, Sam, to talk about what a fuckhead that guy is. I said, let's talk about this asshole. I did this to my friend.
Well, yeah, because you posted that thing on Clav, and it was like, I had not seen any of the stuff that you were doing, but like, it's like, holy fuck! Like,
I think it's still
totally
on eBay,
goddamn
though.
ripping you off.
Yeah, it's still on eBay. Someone did a tabletop, and it looks almost identical to mine. I mean, that side art was such a struggle. The first
That's still 6,900. He knocked off $100 on it.
But that's what he told me too. He's like, I'll tell you what, bitch, I'll knock $100 off for you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was just like,
Brian just posted on the eBay link in the IRC.
So wait, I understand. Did he buy it off you originally, Sam, or did he copy your?
It doesn't even look as good either. The graphics he used.
Yeah, it looks like shit, and that's a real Nintendo cabinet as well. So
he ruined a Nintendo cabinet
and
to
so
do it.
I don't want to talk about all these guys and the negative stuff that I've been dealing with.
All right, so let us do that. You can be political.
That's our slogan.
Fuck that guy.
We out
He's
the
an
asshole.
Yeah, no, like you built all your cabinets from scratch. You put a ton of work into all that shit and making the side art look good. This guy took an original fucking cabinet, which we're part of the Arcade Preservation Society. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, well, I agree, but
those assholes like we do.
As a bunch of assholes, it takes one to know one. That guy's an
Hey, shut up, you asshole.
He's on another level, though.
Yeah.
His asshole.
Some guy made a tabletop version, which was like it looked like it threw up my art all over it, and he's selling them. He's got it on his website and stuff like that. But that side art. That side art for Zelda, the first cabinet that I did when it was going in on all those articles and stuff like that, didn't even have side art because I couldn't figure it out. And so that one, that one's actually in the Museum of Pinball right now in Banning, California. I just found out. But
your original design was like almost like a stained glass design, wasn't it?
That one's coming.
Oh,
actually,
sorry, did I spill some beans?
Yeah.
No, I saw someone do it. I saw someone.
Nobody watching this show.
Yeah.
Hey, we got some Australian viewers. I just sent a message on because Sam's on here, so people are watching in Australia.
Let's mob after this guy and beat him up.
I watched a walkthrough at the Banning. I didn't go to the Banning thing this year, but I did see your cabinet there. I'm like, I guess they bought one. Where did they get that one from?
They got it from John Exity. John Jamstein.
Oh no, is that where that one ended up?
Yeah. He said he donated it to them. Whatever that means. But
what?
That was the first one you sold, right?
Yeah, that money that I didn't get anything for it. I got my materials back. That money turned into 4 cabinets. I used it to build the first DuckTales and the first Mega Man, and that's how we artists are, right? I mean, we live for this stuff, and that's what I do. Whatever money I make, if I make any, I put right back into the new ideas and stuff like that.
He bought some sandwiches with his earnings.
He bought some sandpaper with his earnings.
Some sandpaper.
You heard me.
A sketch pad and a taco. Yeah.
So, but that's cool. That's really cool that it's in. When I started showing these things, I mean, I had them for 3 years, and I just put a sheet over it, started on the next one, put a sheet over it, and I didn't share them with anybody. So,
they were in your basement.
They were in the basement, right? Yeah. And so when I took them to Arizona last August,
at the Alamo.
I mean, I was overwhelmed. I couldn't believe the response. The retro gamers were loving it. The regular arcade guys were loving them, and I was just like, "This is awesome, man!" And people were just so happy and stuff like that.
No one else is doing this.
Oh, it went viral, man. It was amazing. Like when that Zelda cap came out.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm eating it up because I'm like, I know that guy that did that.
Yeah, I know. Sam, I just want to put this out here because you're showing all your awesome cabinets, and you've got you have back stock of stuff. So I just want to put it out there that these are for sale, and if you want to buy one, where do they go, Sam?
So I'm on Instagram and Facebook, Rewind by Design, and I document my builds. I'm being a little bit more cautious about what I'm sharing, just since the copies have been coming out. At the same time, there's been a lot of people that just love it, and I feel like I can't not share it. Yeah. Just because the whole thing is weird, man. I put these things online, and I get accused of fishing for compliments or like
Those
you
are
know
the haters,
how
though.
it is,
Yeah.
you know
You're
what
a
I mean?
celebrity. It sounds like
I've heard way more positive than negative, and then the negative are the, the assholes out there. But okay, I subscribe on YouTube to a lot of like retro, like Nintendo, like game hunting type, channels. And all of them that walked by your cabinet all went ape shit over it. Like, holy shit, look at this. This is so fucking cool. Look at this. Look at, hey, come here, look at this. And they would film it. And then and one of them, I think it was, oh God, what was it? They came up and talked to you. And I was like, oh, that's Sam. I know that guy. But it was funny. Cool.
You know what was funny? One of the craziest things was I was at Portland in October, and Walter Day walked by with on a cell phone, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know these are awesome. Billy Mitchell, you need to talk to Billy Mitchell." And he shoves his phone in front of my face, and I was just like, whoa, because I was in the middle of a conversation. I'm like, wait a second, you're Walter Day. People have tattoos of you on their arm. You know what I mean? Like, or on their body and stuff. And Billy Mitchell, you guys are the reason I'm doing this and stuff. And so then he's just like, I had nothing to say. I didn't know what to say. I was starstruck. And so I felt like an idiot. And so anyways, he started to walk away, and then he turned around, Walter Day, he turned around and he said, "Now, wait a minute. These aren't real Nintendo cabinets, are they?" And I said, "No, sir, they're not." And he's like, "Okay, good job. Carry on."
He'd arrest you right there.
Yeah. So
he'd
that
give
was
you
really
a foul,
cool,
throw his little hanky on the ground with his little referee out there.
Ahead with his acoustic guitar.
Who did the cut?
It's just weird to me because I watched The King of Kong in 2011, and that's kind of what started this whole thing. So it's just really cool that people have responded the way that they have, and I think people want
such an original concept.
And I don't want to take credit for it. I didn't make this up. Sorf on Clav, he did a Super Mario Brothers 3 cabinet with Riddick Rick. And so he was one of the first people to do it. I just kind of took it,
you took it further, farther, and better. Let's just say
I'm just
how
obsessed.
it is.
He's a regular Captain Marvel, is what you're saying, Mock.
I'm just obsessed.
Further, faster.
I mean, I built one DuckTales, and now I'm building another one that looks like a giant bank vault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, because why not? So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys' support and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But now that we've got this new Play Choice 1, I mean, it's going to take that illusion even further. But you can coin up any Nintendo game.
Sam, I know we haven't talked in like 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
know,
Sorry.
Yeah, and he wants his Robotron back. Okay.
I was wondering what's going on with that. It's in my shed. It's in my shed. Hey, I got some new silver.
I wasn't going to bring that shit up on air. You guys brought that shit up. I have never said word one. I have not said word one about that fucking cabinet.
No, I wish you would, because I don't know what to do with it. Because
I don't know what to do with it.
Send it over to my house.
Yeah,
I'll repaint that fucker.
I just spent. See, that's the thing.
And he'll never give it back.
The first question anybody asks me at shows, I get almost every day on Instagram or Facebook, how much? People don't understand how much money. Andrew knows firsthand.
Oh my God.
How much money?
So much fucking money
goes into just the paint job, and that's because I do all the labor myself. I mean, it's cheaper just because of the labor, but I know that scared you off spending all that money on your thing. Yes, sir.
Do you ever break even, do you reckon, on one of the cabinets?
No.
Barely.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Yeah. It's
he comes out ahead by one.
All right, so let's break it down, like, just real quick. So, like, just for paint, what do we spend on Robotron?
That's like fancy. So okay. So you asked me that. I literally went to the paint store this week, and I went to the one that you've gone to with me, which is kind of a budget paint store. But I spent on a gallon of clear for 2 cabinets $314. That's just the clear coat. That's just
you hear that? You rush Jesus.
So that's the thing. Everybody, okay. So
everyone's like, I can go to the fucking I can go to Ace Hardware and get some clear coat for like $13 a can.
Rust-Oleum.
That shit doesn't fly. That doesn't work.
What's a gallon in metric? like some of us people that actually use a proper measurement?
I don't know. That's like
touche, you dickhead.
That's like 4 liters.
Can we get that in the met? Can we
Just
get that?
because your water spins the other direction doesn't make you.
So it's $300 for 300 US for 4 liters of
something like
clear.
4 liters.
I buy like 4 liters of De Beers clear over here for like maybe 250 Australian. So.
Right. So I mean, it can go up. I mean, I worked in automotive restoration.
Yeah.
Andrew,
Yep.
and we, $4,000 for a gallon of clear. It all
Yeah,
depends.
holy
a huge
quality, of course. Yeah.
The quality varies, but
there's a
the
huge
finish
range. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, once you step into that automate, you have to know that it's going to be expensive. Just go get your bumper repainted at when you get into an accident, and they're going to charge you $800 or whatever, just your bumper.
Yeah.
So this is stuff that people don't know, and I don't blame them for not knowing, but it gets frustrating when people are like, what did it cost you to make that Zelda cabinet? Like $300?
Well, because they don't know that you're professionally painting it with like car.
But you look at it, it's obvious though.
You will never ever see a fucking arcade cabinet that looks like Sam's cabinets. No. There will never be cabinets that look like his because the way he's finishing them. Yeah. And the cost that he puts into them.
Fiske.
No, so all we've ever seen is pictures of that, but like that's still not automotive quality paint. Like what Sam is laying down is a different fucking level than anyone is doing.
And I'm not the first person to use automotive. There's lots of guys on Claw that do the stencils like you were going to do with your Robotron Cabaret and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it does cost money.
The same technique and not the same quality of paint going into those things.
And you got to know how to paint too. That's another thing.
Right.
Yeah. So you asked me my raw costs. My raw cost for materials, I'm doing all the labor myself. I also wet sand and polish these, which is another half a day's work. But my raw cost just in paint is about $800. Per cabinet.
That makes sense. It does.
Yeah, so I mean, with the base, you're talking about your undercoats, your sealers, your base coats, your mid coats, your clear coats, all the reducers, all the solvents, all that stuff. I mean,
Sam, you talked about how you're like electronically illiterate. You just said like 5 words in your coats of paint, and I'm just like, huh?
Yeah, I know primer, and then
I'm still trying to get past the whole like
$300
for a clear coat. I'm just like, oh wait, slow down.
Well,
how come
custom?
So just look at the Red Tent videos that we did together.
Oh yeah,
that shit's available, so you can see like what we went through, but we didn't talk about what it cost.
No.
Yeah, and you can't that was you can't powder coat one of these cabinets.
Yeah, that'd be cool. How come you don't just roller it and then sand the fuck out of it?
That doesn't work out that way.
So
hey guys,
custom is expensive. Andrew, or any of you guys that have done custom cars or anything like that, that you never get the money back that you put into something. Fortunately for me, I can do a lot of the work myself. The electronic stuff, I have to outsource that. That's why, I came up with this really backyard way of doing my topper for Ghostbusters. I want to have that topper come on every 5 minutes for like 30 seconds or whatever. And I was going to do like one of those lawn timers or something, you know what I mean? Just because I'm not smart enough to figure that stuff out. But I know that there are guys in this community like Aaron, as busy as they are, that can do that stuff as quickly as I can build a cabinet and stuff like that. So that's really cool and I've said this before, what's great about this community is there's so many people that know how to do so many different things, that are different strengths and weaknesses and stuff. And together you can make some really cool stuff. But custom is expensive. Yeah, it is. I just spent $250 on this commission that I'm doing this summer for the High Scores Arcades on marquee brackets. That doesn't make sense. But it's because it needs to be right and it needs to be perfect. And the cabinet I'm using required me to buy a bunch of different marquee brackets and get them welded together and fabricated. Well, I could have just used angle iron from Home Depot, but that kills the illusion of what if they made this game in 1986 or whatever year it was made, or in the Oregon Trail case, what if they made it in 1848, even though they didn't have electricity? We are
talking to welcome to OCD squared.
Well, but it is 100%, but that's the artist's perspective, and that's what I always love about Sam and Sam's work. Sam's work is a fucking art.
It's on another level.
He creates art
on such a different level.
So I have plans. I would love to do a Castlevania. That's like one.
Yeah.
So this year for Phoenix, which is going to be in August, I want to show Ghostbusters, the new Bank Vault DuckTales, and then I'm also doing a game called Mighty Final Fight, which is like
that's so good. It's a good one.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a pink cabinet with pink flake.
Is that with the big heads? Is that?
Yeah,
yeah, the little guys with the big heads. Yeah,
yeah. So
you
there's
have
not
the name book.
Huh?
Yeah, I probably played it on there.
So
I rented that game. I could never, I never found it for sale, but they had it at the rental stores. Yeah,
and that idea came from AJ Nada on Claw. He came up to me in Phoenix at the show, and he's like, "Dude, you should do it." And I was like, "Man, that would be a great one." So we were talking about it, and I can't figure out what I'm going to do for the speaker grill on that one yet. I don't want to do like an anarchy symbol because I don't want to So I'm going to do something punk themed for that. Maybe a skull with like a mohawk or something like that. And then I'm doing these two big commissions, which I can't talk about, for High Scores Arcades, which is a really popular game that will be unveiled this time in June. So I'm gonna. Cuphead's already been done. Cuphead's. Yeah, Joe's Zabo, which I've partnered with him. The Zelda artwork is for sale on his website right now, so you can actually buy that and make your own Zelda.
Hear that, eBay fuckhead?
Yeah, fuckhead eBay guy.
Well, that's why I did it. I was like, if people are going to start copying me, you know what I mean? And I'm not making any money anyway. So it's like, you might as well offer.
It's got your thumbs up of approval.
Yeah. It's one of those things where everyone's asking me, make me one. I want one. I'm like, I can't do it.
For a quarter of the price. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but I can't do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'll make the art available, and hopefully those people will be moral enough. And I'm not saying people need to be married to these things, but it would kill me if, I saw my artwork now on eBay for, whatever, you know what I mean? Because I'm not making anything on these, I'm basically just offering them to the community. Joe has been nice enough to do that. You know what I mean? So, which is awesome, so.
I'll put Toki artwork on eBay.
Do it. I want to build a
Mock watermark the fuck out of that.
Yeah, right.
That was
in there.
That was awesome.
Sam, what happened to the Street Fighter game?
So that's going to happen. So next year.
I'm sorry, did I spoil some shit?
No. Next year, my plan is to do a Castlevania and then the Street Fighter versus Mega Man X.
Yeah.
And then I want to do a TMNT too, which will be the first 2-player cabinet that I build. But it all depends. It really all depends.
Talk about the TMNT
Manhattan project. Oh.
What's the TMNT thing?
So I want to do, just like Ninja Turtles game, a 2-player cabinet. Obviously, the ideas. See, that's the thing. These ideas, man, they just get stuck in your head and they torture you until you get them out. So it's just like I really want to do them, but I have to wait. I can't keep.
Yeah, but what's the project? What's the idea? Like TMNT for what? What game? What are we playing?
Do Manhattan.
Well, it can play all of them. I mean, all these cabinets play every.
But what's the game? What's the focus of the cabinet? Like, what's the design?
It would, it'd be like green with like.
But for which game?
For the
NES.
Game. Yeah, NES arcade game. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and so like I want to do a green cabinet with like a manhole cover for the speaker grill, and just to the nines. You know what I mean?
Do you have a buyer for that?
I don't have a buyer for anything.
Selling that like 5,000.
So are you looking for like a commissioner?
Yeah. What are they?
Like, I don't know.
Like same for every game.
If you were looking for someone to just sponsor you for a game build,
it's like $7 grand, $5 grand.
Yeah. Let's say I came to you and I said, Metroid.
So that was people. See, here's the thing.
I know. No, you haven't done that. But like, let me say, like, what if I just came to you and said, I just want you to build me a Metroid cabinet?
It all depends, man. It all depends on. I mean, if I'm taking it to the whole hand embossed DuckTales level, I mean, that's going to be more than just a generic. But I mean, if I have to create the art from scratch, if the art's out there and I don't have to draw, I know, because you do graphic design.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about that Dr. Mario bezel you did, and how much time it spent recreating. People think
nobody fucking uses that.
Do it like that.
Yep. Nobody does
You know
it.
what I mean?
I spent
didn't Sean do that
20 or 30 hours rebuilding Fett's
Right.
Dr. Mario.
Just to clean up the lines.
To clean his shit up and just make it right.
And
I don't even know if anyone even. I did it for free. I have no idea if that's even. I put it out there. I have no idea if anyone's even using it.
I think isn't it on this whole game site?
If it is, it's
on a lot of sites. I've seen it on Escape Pod.
Well, there you go. So my shit's out there. Like I get that shit away for free.
But yeah, I mean,
you can actually download it from one of the websites as well.
Well, there you go.
Because I downloaded it.
Can we post some links?
So that was
I downloaded it for a future project.
So there you go. So 20, 30 hours of me rebuilding that fucking Dr. Mario bezel.
Damn.
20, 30 hours.
So that's the thing. People don't, because you look at something you don't know, like Mock, too, just like how much time goes into recreating it.
What he did in Toki, that was way more than I did on fucking Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
That was a lot of work.
Yeah.
That was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and love, Jim.
But it's a lot of
I love that.
You just pumped that bezel full of love.
By the way, I just sold that cabinet for
$1.
Yeah.
How about
guys?
Aaron,
I've actually had somebody ask me for one of my cabinets. Didn't care which one it was. Just wanted it so they could flip it. You know what I mean? So and they didn't say that, but I mean, when they're saying I don't care what you make, just I want something. You know what I mean? It's just like it's
Canada.
By the way, did you guys see the picture? He was at Texas Pinball something or whatever.
No, really? I haven't heard shit from that guy for years.
Dude, it showed up on my Facebook. It showed up on my Facebook new feed. I was like, why does that guy look so familiar? And he's just wearing this shirt. I was just like, oh my God. I would love to meet that guy. Did
you see the suit he wore for when he won a fucking award?
For what?
For what?
I don't know. Being a fucking idiot, I don't know, but he won a fucking award.
He won an award. But here's the funny fucking shit. We're still talking about that cocksucker.
I know.
He's really popular in the pinball community, by the way.
Yeah, he got banned from Pinside.
I know, but he's real popular in the pinball side. I guess they haven't.
I shit-bagged him on fucking Facebook the other day when I was drunk. Holy fuck!
Wait,
I fucking
who you guys are talking about?
Canada.
Oh hell!
Sorry, I'm still posting.
I think Canada's Biscuit.
Anyways,
for now, I think
can we real quick just like wrap up with Sam?
Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Wait, I want to put in a request before you wrap up.
No.
It's related.
We're wrapping up with Sam.
I'm not ready to wrap up yet.
He doesn't want to pull out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Aaron can on his or Crafty Mech on his bit kit. He can do Loverboy, and Sam could do all the graphics in a giant cab for it.
I want to see the chopper on that. I'll help 3D print a special joystick. With like veins on it and stuff.
Oh, that'd be rad.
So actually,
multi.
You need the joystick to work like the old Street Fighter 1 cabinet. So
You gotta pump the machine like during the bonus round.
Throw some Oonga Booga into it as well for a special bonus.
Sam, do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah, no, but yes, but that's what's exciting.
No or yes.
That's what's exciting about this, though. I've actually been approached by some people that are developing a console game, a brand new console game, and they're like, "Hey, we want an arcade cabinet for it." You know what I mean? So it's like, so we can use it to promote the game and stuff like that. So I mean, it's cool that you can make these new games in this new format and stuff, and it's kind of interchangeable now and stuff like that. People are kind of just opening their eyes to that, and it's really fun.
You got a real job, don't you, in real life? Besides that?
So I did. I did.
Way to bring it down a notch there, Buzz.
Thanks a lot, man.
I know I only have 24 hours in a day, so.
I was not going to be that guy.
I kind of bet the farm on this whole thing, just because who wouldn't want to do what they love for a living, right? It didn't exactly pan out. So I'm gonna be moving.
That's Wyoming
pretty soon.
coming back to haunt you.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna move to my Wyoming.
It's a lot of fun. It's
no,
so much fun.
You're gonna move where soon?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
What about me?
Yeah, I'll move into your. I'll sleep under your Judge Dredd.
Dude, come on in here. I got a spare bedroom. We'll work some shit out.
Just sleep in his van.
So funny.
That's right. Just sleep between the two dogs.
No, dude.
Plenty of room.
I have a spare bedroom, Sam. Dude.
Everybody assumes that when I post one of these for sale that I'm raking in the cash. The only reason I do it is so that I can build more. You know what I mean? Like it turns into this whole fiasco. You know what I mean? So
you're supporting Sam.
Dude, Sam, I've got a garage. You can move in here anytime, buddy.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You think I'm joking? I'm just saying.
And then in the background, we see Sam like cutting wood and painting and stuff while Andrew's on the stove.
Andrew's got a whip. And be like, "What?"
Be like,
"Are you done yet?
I'm fucking doing a podcast."
Did you keep it down?
Where's my Ghostbusters coin door, bitch?
Sam, I have to say, I love your passion for this hobby, man.
Thank you, man.
So good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
so
passion.
Hey, you do some absolutely amazing work.
Thanks, man.
I couldn't get a mirror finish like that if I tried.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't want to monopolize the show. I could talk about this stuff all day.
No,
but
we
wouldn't complain.
Please monopolize the show because
it's only 11:30. Normally we don't even start at this hour.
And Aaron,
it's just gonna be a bunch of bullshit anyway.
We're sick of talking to each other. Boy.
Aaron kind of knows what I'm talking about, where you're kind of in this like weird gray area between BYOC, arcade controls, and actually Andrew, you started out probably there too, right? And and then I think you did too, Mock. Right, and
I
then
did.
Yeah, and then you kind of evolved into the whole arcade preservationist purist thing or whatever. But you still appreciate that, and I'm kind of in this gray area where I don't own any actual Nintendo or original games. The last one that I've had is sitting behind Andrew.
It's right over there.
Red Donkey.
It's gorgeous.
That was a crap.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of fun to be able to use your imagination and, create new stuff and, just do the whole weird artist thing where you kind of give up everything to follow a passion and stuff, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, I love doing it. And I've been invited to a ton of shows. I can't make them out to them. You know what I mean? So I'm just sticking to one or two a year. And
get people to pay for you like they do Billy.
Yeah. The problem with me is it's not just me showing up. I also have to bring 3 or 4 giant wooden boxes with me. You know what I mean?
Well, so he has to bring his fucking entourage. So
that's true. That's true.
And I'll tell you, Sam, like, no shit. I said it before on the show. That game is the last game that I would ever sell.
What, the Red Donkey Kong? Yeah, it's an awesome cabinet.
I would not.
I mean,
if I had to sell everything else, like fucking a major medical shit having to happen, or I couldn't pay my mortgage. The last game I would sell would be my Red Donkey Kong.
Which is funny because I couldn't pay mine, so I sold it to you.
I know.
Oh, that's terrible.
Drink the irony. But
why would you keep Donkey Kong over Forgotten Worlds?
Yeah.
Did you tell Andrew?
Why?
This game means that much to me.
Yeah,
really?
You
can get a Donkey Kong like every other.
No, but you can't get a 5-slot Red Donkey Kong any day.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah,
and it came from fucking Sam. Sam's got a great story about how he went and got it.
Yeah. Did you tell
how
him
it ended up in my lap was an unintentional story.
I
sold my Donkey Kong to get it. So that
did you tell him that story?
It's your story.
Oh, just that I drove from.
It's
Denver
your story,
to
so you tell it.
Yeah, the cross country pickup.
I drove from Denver to Wisconsin. I bought it from the guy. He just wheeled it out in his driveway and then rolled down the garage door like as soon as I
get the fuck off my property.
Yeah, like get the hell out. I was like, really, dude?
He drove for 20 hours, whatever it was.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Wow.
And then back, So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
All I remember of him are the back of his legs as the garage door went down.
Yeah.
See you later. I waved to him.
20 hours and no, you can't use my bathroom.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like, I don't know anything about it. And you see like a whole row of Nintendos in his garage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a ton of.
Yeah,
he said he didn't know anything about. I know he's on club, but he's like, I don't know anything about this cabinet, and he's just got a ton of like Nintendo cabinets in his garage that are like empty, taken apart and stuff. So.
No,
Yeah.
so this is a special cabinet. It has a great story that Sam
Cool, man.
and I have shared. I remember that whole thing. Like when he went and got it, he was calling me like on the road, asking me about the condition. He was asking me before,
If it was legit.
Was it legit? Like, yeah. Like, and we were talking about like, does it have the white
legit.
coin box? It has the white coin box.
Yep.
Really?
It had the red stamping, on the back.
It has
on
the serial number is probably red. You know, it's like I go over here and look at the it's like that. That's a fucking legit. And then I made Billy Mitchell sign it.
Wow!
Did he draw a dick on it?
No, he didn't. He didn't even draw a single dick on it. But Billy, this cabinet was in Billy
clearly
Mitchell's
doesn't blend with the
fucking
Where
cabinet.
where did he sign it? At Rocky Mountain Pinball
Rocky
Showdown?
Mountain Pinball Showdown. So like I brought out my DK.
Oh yeah, that picture.
Yeah, the picture. Yeah, when I had the Nosferatu haircut.
Appreciate the value.
Yeah.
Can you just stand in the background a little bit further?
He wanted me to stand back because I was taller than him.
He likes to be taller than everybody.
Yeah, he wanted to be taller, but it was like his head was like his head was like this big, and mine was like this big. And it's like
Andrew,
very
squat.
Andrew, you need one of those 10-foot Donkey Kong machines.
do,
Then
I
you'd
do.
look normal. The ones people have to get.
You know, Andrew could go out and get that one-up little stand for his Donkey Kong.
For a real Donkey Kong. Yeah, I could put that shit up like 2-3 feet, and it'd be like normal.
Yep.
No, but like I mean, the story that exists behind this cabinet, Sam's part of it.
I love that story.
Donkey Kong was like my 3rd or 4th game that I ever bought, and I sold that because I was like, I can help a brother out and get a great game, an amazing game, a rare game that like you just don't run across. I mean, how many 5-slot Donkey Kongs have you guys seen? And I know a bunch of you hate fucking Donkey Kong. But
I don't. I won't.
I love that game. Like I
like Donkey Kong.
Game for me. So
wait. Let's just go to the last 3 games you'd sell. Would it be Rastan, Forgotten Worlds, Donkey Kong?
720.
720 Forgotten Worlds, Donkey Kong.
720 Star Trek Pin.
Oh. Fuck Forgotten Worlds.
Nice.
I love that game, but the thing is, I finish it every fucking time I sit down.
Yeah, but just so hard to get. That's the thing.
It is.
It's gone forever.
You can't let John Jacobson win on that one, where he's like, "Oh, once you finish it, it's done. That's a stupid game. Anyway, it's the worst tasting game."
No,
you have to hang on to that shit, so you can be like, "Fuck you, buddy."
I play Eyes for hours, and it's the same level, and I fucking love that game.
I still play Forgotten Worlds all the time. I still love.
Yeah, but
playing.
you'll never find another one. You know how many often I see that on Craigslist?
Rastan. And I've got 4 boards on the shelf right there.
Well, that's another animal. I'm talking about Forgotten Worlds. That's like so rare. I never see one for sale ever.
Yeah.
In fact, Gak got one by accident.
No,
Carrie gets stuff like I don't know.
Well, I had to
Carrie's got boobs,
mine
so.
off of Gak. I had to claw my way through a project to make Forgotten World happen. And I still don't have a bezel for it.
Yeah, that's true. She did the build that, but everything else, like
I mean, one fell in my hands, and then I gave it away. But
I've never seen.
All right. No, Forgotten Worlds is number 4.
Yeah.
You said number top 3.
I know. I'm surprised though. I shocked.
Can we
Why
do
Star
the
Trek?
fuck you price
I think
game
Star
again?
Trek's
That
around,
was
like,
fun.
you can't let one dead cat and not hit a Star Trek Next Gen fan.
I do too. I'm
There's
just
so many of
surprised
them.
you said
You know
that.
how I love Star Trek, dude.
Where does Winston?
I know. I'm just surprised because I'm talking arcade games.
But not all Star Treks have flippers that are built upside down. So I
They're
understand.
originally built upside down.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
understand.
rebuilt them yet.
Yeah, right. So it's still that
Yeah,
way.
thanks, Griffin.
Yeah.
I didn't rebuild those things, you fucker.
Yeah, so
Well, your Star Trek was originally a Q*bert, wasn't it?
I
Nice.
gave my Q*bert away.
Oh, I got those sleeves by the way from Chicago Gaming Company. They sent me two sleeves for the Monster Bash remake that I have.
Have you got it?
Yeah, I finally got it a couple weeks ago.
I've been a while. It's been a while since I've been on it. Actually,
the right flipper wasn't working right, and Keith came over and looked at it, and It was loose underneath. The coil was loose, connected to the playfield, and the sleeve that's in the coil was like short by about a half inch. They used the wrong sleeve. Yeah. Okay. And what else? Oh, and the flipper was tightened too tight, so it would stick at the top. So you flip it, it would stay up. The flipper.
How does it play now that it's working though?
So now I fixed all that shit. I put the new sleeve in, and it works perfect. No problems.
You reckon it plays better than the original? I think
it's more sexy than the original.
I feel the new Medieval Madness plays better than a fully restored Medieval Madness.
It does because it feels brand new, and it has a different light show because all the GI is multi-LED. So if you're doing Frankenstein, everything's green. If you're doing Mummy, everything's yellow. If you do Dracula, everything turns red. So the whole playfield changes color depending on what mode you're playing. So
that's fucking cool.
I love the remake.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Soon that I hopefully I'll get to play. So.
It's not just
Carrie played it at
re-improvement.
Yeah, they improved it. They improved the original. The original was great before.
Medieval Madness was basically the same game. They improved some stuff,
not much,
but it's still the original game. Right?
Oh, they redid the animation. Yeah.
Yeah, but like Monster Bash, like that dude, they just fucking rebooted that game.
Yeah. Awesome. The animation that they redrew is amazing.
Fucking Lethargy's in the IRC.
Who?
I haven't seen him for a long time. Mike.
Lethargy. Wait, Lethargy?
Oh, Lethargy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mike.
All right, so Colorado's fucking taking over. we got Crappy Mick, we got Sam YO.
Right. Wow.
We got all Denver, Coloradoans.
And me.
Boy, I feel
anybody from Wyoming?
I feel underrepresented. Can we get the Electoral College for the IRC?
Doesn't matter. You're gonna lose anyway.
That was spot on.
Nicely done,
Jim.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
I think everyone state here voted the same as far as Electoral College. Who here was an outside? Gleek?
What?
No, that's not good. That's
not Gleek is like a different version of Parrot Top.
Dude. What?
Do you take like a 4-hour nap before the show and while wearing a hat at the same time?
Speaking of Gleek, Speaking of Gleek, I just wanted to say, talking about work that doesn't really get noticed, what you do with your Clav IMG, like that's you, right?
What?
Yeah,
aren't you the one that did Clav IMG?
What happened? The image
the Clav image site. Yeah, that's free for all.
Yeah, that's speaking of. I mean, that has just been a lifesaver for me, man. Like it's so awesome, dude. So I just want to thank you for that, man. I mean, after the whole photo bucket thing.
Well, next month he's going to charge $5. Right?
Wax back.
Yo.
Oh, are you?
We're just.
Do you have any questions for Crafty or for Wyo?
Thanks.
Well, I started out with my question. It was more of a request from Crafty. One can dream. Right. The auto fixing
the auto capping.
Disco Jack.
The auto pumping.
And Sam, your work is amazing. I agree with everybody. It's just awesome. And my question was, you already answered it. Was you use a template? Because I've considered trying to do a couple cabinets here and there, and I'm torn between because I work in like programming and software. I do like CNC punch on sheet metal and stuff, and I've considered like trying to get into the CNC router work for doing stuff, but the hands-on part seems like it's not too bad.
Well, I follow you on Instagram, and I've seen your work. You're a maker, so that I don't have there's no doubt in my mind you couldn't do one of these, and there's and there's a ton of actually Chance, who you guys love, Mr. Purple Cabinet. I have two.
Oh yes,
well, I've made two now, just so. But he came up with a thread on arcade controls that has every reference and everything you need to build a Nintendo cabinet as far as measurements and stuff like that. But you have a ton right there behind you That's the key.
Right.
Literally just make a template and go to town. You know what I mean? And you can make as many as you want. They're getting harder to find now, you know? So, so yeah, I mean, I think that'd be really cool. Would you do something custom or would you just
one, you know, you joked about the 10-foot Donkey Kong. It wouldn't be 10 foot, but this was something I've been dreaming about for like years. Was to do one that's it'd probably be more like
actually looks like Donkey Kong.
It would actually be more like 7 or 8 feet tall, but like scaled up. Like, you know, put either a 25-inch or 27-inch monitor in place of the 19 and scale everything else to the same exact ratio.
So it should be big, but not like
not like crazy. You don't have to get on a ladder to go up and play the game like that 10-footer, you know. You know, because like when Donkey Kong was brand new, I was like 4 feet or 4.5 feet tall. So like if I scale it up, then it'll feel like I was that kid again.
Yeah, make Chris feel like a little kid again.
Yes, there we
go. I mean, anything's possible. What I'm working on right now.
Imagine the buttons.
Yeah. Well, I could 3D print
like
and
huge. No, that'd be awesome.
Kabasa joystick.
Yeah.
Actually, that was my question back when when Sam was just talking. I was going to ask him what kind of joysticks does he use. Nintendo? What kind of joysticks and buttons do you use?
I use the joystick that I love that I use and I put in all my builds is called the Omni it's a 4/8-way switchable for from Groovy Game Gear. It's like $35 with you can get a custom top and it's just super smooth. I don't use legit Nintendo.
I think Groovy Game Gear is where I got my Toki joystick.
I bought all my stuff for main cabinet.
8 or whatever. Awesome. That's so fucking. It's so buttery smooth. Like
all my arcade stuff in my main cabinet is all from Groovy Game Gear.
Yeah,
you could do overhead for like a month with that control. So,
Groovy Game Gear.
When are you leaving, Gak?
Who are you? Why did you come on?
Yeah. The thing for you.
I miss you, Gak. I love you that you're here, man.
You too, man.
The tricky thing for you, if you build that cabinet, Gak, is going to be that coin door. Like, you know, you're going to have to do something unique with that if you make it super big and stuff, or just eliminate it altogether, which kind of kills you.
Well, the sheet metal stuff is not a problem. Like but it's the molded, metal parts that require some CNC work, I think. You know, but I could fake it though. I could make 3D print it and paint it silver.
Yeah, if you're making like the Donkey Kong is like what, like 4'6", 4'8", something like that. I mean 5 foot maybe.
Yeah, it's like 63 inches.
All right,
just over 5 foot.
Round.
Right. All right. So how do you dial up the fucking joystick, and then how does that feel in your hand?
Right. Yeah.
I'll show you.
I think it was when I was looking at it because I have a 27-inch TV that has a VGA input.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking was decasing that and put that in. And when you do a 27-inch versus a 19-inch, it's 43% larger. And it was under 8 foot tall then as a finished cabinet. And you would go with like, I think it's like 1 inch thick plywood to make it right.
Yeah.
It'd be a tank, man.
That's a good
But you got to scale everything the same exact ratio. I don't want it to look like a tiny joystick on a giant cabinet or anything like that, you know?
That'd be awesome.
But
that'd be so cool.
I've been wanting to do that for years.
I think that'd be cool. I'd love to see that. I'd love to follow that build, whatever. But yeah, I mean,
the other one I've dreamt about doing was, and I have the control panel and handlebars for it. Was I feel like Paperboy was not given the same kind of justice that 720 was given. You know, they had the 27-inch monitor, the special cabinet with the ghetto blaster on top.
What are you trying to say about
that.
720?
It's awesome. I'm sorry. The Paperboy's the redheaded stepchild. That's why I always felt like being a BMXer in the shadow of skateboarders. You know.
All right, fair enough.
So
I would make
Paperboy should have been a 720 cabinet. You're right.
Yeah, I would make a 720 cabinet, but with the Paperboy handlebars, and then do the artwork.
That would be badass.
And then I would do
badass.
I would do the artwork on the sides.
But that would be cool.
I would do the artwork on the sides to because I've seen it in person, but he's since sold it, I think, to the millionaire guy in Tennessee. The prototype of Paperboy, the side art on that looked very similar to the 720 side art by the monitors. It's kind of like a circular, and you could angle it just like the 720.
No,
I'm picturing the handlebars on a skinnier profile, and
exactly.
they would stick out further. That'd be fucking badass.
Yes,
the side art would be like an action pose from the movie Rad.
The back pedal,
Arcade Hangout could fucking build this thing and have.
I'll help you with the graphics.
Sponsor Sam.
So to back up a little bit, the prototype
Sam to build this fucking cabinet.
The prototype was 720. Sorry, the prototype of Paperboy was actually in a, I think, Return of the Jedi cabinet. Oh. So it had that kind of idea.
Yeah.
But it was a 19-inch monitor.
That's what I'm saying. We should all sponsor Sam to build this fucking cabinet.
Ooh.
So that's the thing.
An Arcade Hangout version of 720, which would be worth, I don't know, $15,000-$20,000.
There you go.
So that's the thing, you know, like Gak, you're talking about.
Come over here and take measurements off my 720.
They already exist, but they're getting so hard to find now, and they're getting so expensive. Yep. Why not make your own?
Yeah,
you know, what I mean, not only are you going to learn,
well, there's that. That's
new skills.
That's the dilemma a lot of us go through is like, I'm purist too. I like original. I mean, I'm lazy too, so I don't like to restore games, you know.
Me neither.
But you know, there's something to be said about original old school stinky cabinets that have, you know, graffiti carved in the sides and everything. But then I totally love and have respect for like reproduction stuff, and especially when it's done with like how you do it. You know, it's like how you envision it should have been done or could have been done. Instead of like totally just trying to copy what was original but brand new.
Thanks, Steve, for the Toki art.
Well, and that's always
that needed to be done. Though. That needed to be done.
You guys have got me like fucking thinking. Like I want to fucking make this happen. Like what would it take?
Well, and that's the
Loverboy. What, a Paperboy in a 720 cap? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about.
There's a guy. $300 going towards a Loverboy.
Someone's got to do a Loverboy out there.
There's a guy on Cloud who's.
Someone give me a fucking board and I'll do it.
So we need Crafty Mac to create the medium res FPGA, so so we're not like, you know, robbing games of their circuit boards and stuff, you know.
Yeah, we're not worrying about that. We need Loverboy.
Crafty needs to just add Loverboy to the kit.
That actually should be your guys' cabinet. Loverboy.
We should build. Someone chasing someone after someone.
I can just picture the thread now where people are like, "Wow, you know, of all the shit that Loverboy gets, it's actually a really fun game.
It's actually pretty fun.
It's the most offensive game ever. Game ever made.
I rolled.
There's some more offensive ones.
No,
I rolled it.
I had a
Custer's Revenge comes to mind, Mock.
No, I'm talking about arcade stand-up games. Though. It's the most offensive one ever
that
made.
was a kit, though. But yeah,
was it a kit?
Well, was it a dedicated machine? I don't know.
I
assume it was just a kit.
It was probably a kit. I would guess.
It was that Japanese game, the one where you had to stick your hand.
Bunga Bunga.
That's up there, but I think Raping Girls is worse.
I think Mike proved on the pre-show that game doesn't exist.
What about okay, Baby? That's
Helicopter Jesus has been looking for decades.
I know.
Jesus.
Helicopter Jesus.
Sam, you've been missing out. You got to be a regular.
No, I know who he is. I know.
You do?
Where is Helicopter Jesus?
You got to be part of the show.
I feel like, guys, I said this earlier. I feel like Disco Jesus right now myself.
Yeah,
I know. I like it.
Seeing Crafty Mech's logo in our little thumbnails at the bottom brings back this fun memory.
I know. This is like 5 years ago.
This totally feels like the old days.
All we're missing is Adam one circuit.
Yep,
that's right.
Yeah.
This is totally like our first
doing
year
Brad
doing
impersonations,
right? All of us would come in here and talk.
Orange Whip, where the hell are you at? We can't not mention Orange Whip.
Yeah. Oh, Orange Whip usually here too.
Yeah, minus Orange Whip.
He's too busy being B-Rad.
No, but this is like the old days right here, right?
Just about.
We just come in here and talk, and just talk about stuff, and
it
was pretty informal
And Aaron would yell "fuck you" to Orange Whip. Oh, good old shit like that.
Oh my god, that was such a great night.
I forgot about that one. We need Brad in here. Where the fuck is Brad?
Well, you'd miss my rant at.
That was so funny.
Over WhatsApp, I had a fuck you rant to John Jacobson about the Nintendo Switch.
Fuck you!
That's so funny you say that, Crafty, because I got kicked out of that WhatsApp.
Yeah, I eventually rage quit.
Did you?
Yeah, I got kicked out of the WhatsApp. And
what did you do to do that?
Wow.
Let's hear it. Confessions. Confessions of a hangout.
Everybody's working.
I think at some point I stopped talking because fucking Kumo Craig just started taking over.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got nothing to add to this conversation because you guys want to talk about politics and shit like that.
It was way too
Oh, wasn't arcade games just politics the whole time?
I don't want to.
So you got to do a separate channel for that if you really want to. Do
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like adult only area like that. Yeah.
So I dropped out of that, and then it's like 2 or 3 months later, XD is like, "Hey, dude, I never hear from you." I'm like, "Yeah, you kicked me out of fucking WhatsApp."
No, he didn't.
I thought you hated me.
He dropped it. Which made it.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Me, KMC, John, and a couple other people. So it was pretty much just me and KMC.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He actually just texted me like last week.
Who?
Because
Don?
Kumo Craig.
Yeah.
Kumo Craig.
Yeah.
Because I have his Wall Street circuit board for the CVS cabinet.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I
like
think
he brought that and we put it in my cabinet last year at CAX. And he was just like, just keep it, man. And, next year when I come back, just give it back to me, whatever.
Well, he's been selling stuff lately. He's been looking.
Yeah.
I think he's raising some funds. He's in a fundraising mode.
Did you guys see him in the Super Bowl ad or not?
I totally
I did, yeah.
I like
He didn't have a speaking part though, did he?
No, but he was there. I mean, he's like prominent in that ad.
I told my wife, and I'm like, that guy. And she's like, what guy? I'm like, that guy. Where's this on the TV? I don't know.
It's that guy.
So hey,
his text like out of the blue. His text out of the blue that he sent to me. He's like, "You're probably the only person that would appreciate this, so I'm going to send you some pics." And I'm like, "Okay." He basically got a new old stock Hunchback kit.
Oh, really?
Because I got Hunchback for the CVS.
Yeah.
And he said he actually got it from somebody in Colorado. So I don't know if he got it through that WhatsApp thing or what. I don't know. But yeah, it's a CVS kit, except for the control panel overlay is for a Nintendo cabinet. But that might have been how they did it.
Can we talk about the games that you got this week, Yak?
Yeah. I don't really have the best way to show them
your
yet.
gyrus is still fucking working. I'm pretty impressed.
I know. Yeah.
I was watching your.
It's actually warmer in here.
I was watching your 8.
Keeps you warm.
Yeah. I was watching your 8-beer video, watching your fucking gyrus just go down over and over and over again.
Yeah. Story of my life.
Yeah. No, and I was like, dude, I wish I was there. Not to help your gyrus.
Can someone run statistics on this show?
Yes.
And discover how many games have went down live while we were.
I know, right?
People bitch about it all the time.
Madness, my red tent.
Yeah. There's a reason why we don't fire these things up during the show.
Because they're on for 4 hours for no reason.
Yeah, people bitch about that. They're like, but your arcade doesn't work.
Halfway for me right now is to help create some warmth. That's a little chilly in the crowd.
That's my motto I use.
As I have my fucking balcony.
It's like the only time where I'm like, my game caught on fire. I can warm up.
When we first started the show, I had 2 games behind me. I had fucking Marble Madness and my red tent, and both of them went down.
I remember when the red tent went down, or once.
Yeah,
just went
I remember
down.
that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
God damn it.
Huh?
Mark, MAME barely goes down, so they're safe to turn on.
Yeah,
Right.
And I'm in a different room now because it's warmer.
Those ATX power supplies are pretty solid.
Dude,
I got a
you're in Southern
comfortable
California.
waist
How
chair.
cold does it get?
It's
Yeah, well,
warm
that's true.
in
You got the
here.
chair. Yeah.
It's like 40 degrees outside, and I've got my balcony door like this far open and I don't have any heat on. Like, God,
we're at the end of March right now in Australia, and it's raining today, but it's been fucking like 35 degrees every day recently.
So
you're talking Celsius, though?
Asshole.
It's Celsius. I have no fucking idea what your shitty system is again.
I think
it's 5 degrees plus 32, or 9 fifths minus 32, however you look at it.
95 degrees.
95 degrees. There you go. And it shouldn't be this hot at this time of year. It's fucking ridiculous.
95 is awesome.
It's time to shave, I think.
No.
Yeah, speaking of which, Jerry, what's up with the fucking beard?
Right, you're rocking the beard.
Oh well,
Not man, Jerry.
Does it tickle their bean?
Are you bringing that shit out to Grinkers this year or what?
No, I'll be shaved by Grinkers.
Andrew, it'll be on his carry-on.
So DJ, Flask, I already dropped the hint to the wife, and you're welcome to stay here if you want. Right before Grinkers.
I was actually going to hit you up for a call. I was going to call you about that.
It's corner time.
I had to do their approach at the right time. She had to be in a good mood, and I'm like, so right before
you got her
Grinkers,
proper
mind if I have a
hammered.
friend stay over?
So you said no to sex.
So that's only if your schedule works out.
Dude, I actually looked at flights last night, and because I'm working night shift again, that's why I only just woke up before. Right now, I can get flights from Brisbane to it goes Brisbane, LAX to Sacramento, and it's
not LAX.
So random.
But it's just I got to stop over anyway. It's $1,050 return. It's fucking so cheap.
Oh, do it then. So are you coming in? Are you coming in Thursday?
Gleek signing out.
Well, my plan. I need to talk to Gary.
All right, man.
He's got a perfect hair.
Everybody.
Yeah,
he's got to watch his hair.
Real quick, so dates for shit is confirmed. So, by the way, if there's any questions,
are we talking about this right now?
I mean, we can go absolutely and confirm dates are the 11th and 12th of October are the official tournament dates.
So that's Friday and Saturday.
Right.
That's Friday and Saturday.
Cool kids show up early.
So DJ, Flask, we'll talk more. We can talk more offline or whatever, but
our 11th and 12th, right?
11th and 12th.
My thought was if you come out, if you can make it here Tuesday,
when we're sober,
and then we'll drive up there on Wednesday. Whatever that Tuesday is.
A lot of us like to show up a day early and party.
I'm assuming
that's optional.
Or
let's do a hangout that Tuesday night, so you could be like here in the garage.
The official dates for Drink Fest have been announced.
Yep.
They are officially the 11th and 12th of October, 2019.
I want to do a hangout in
Mr. Herman.
Well, you got to show up on the 8th then.
Well, I can.
Whatever Tuesday is.
That's the Tuesday. He's the 8th.
Yeah, so I should probably.
My plan would be I would try to head out there on Wednesday. Actually, drive up to Boise on Wednesday. So if you come out here on Tuesday, we could do the hangout in my garage with everybody Tuesday night.
He's gonna be fucking wrecked.
And I'll get
so I'm a little nervous about it.
Jet lag and shit.
I'll start drinking Tuesday. You just throw me in the car Wednesday, and then
I think you lose the whole day, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You go backwards one day.
Oh wow!
So that's it.
Yeah, it's about a 9-hour drive from my
Carrie
house.
should actually.
He
Carrie,
actually
you
flies
need
out on
to. You need to
Sunday.
try to fly out Monday so that you can get there Thursday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Last year I did okay.
That's the Carrie curse.
Yeah, it is a Carrie curse. Last year wasn't too bad. I was only like an hour late.
34K. Are you driving this year?
Absolutely.
He wouldn't miss it.
Maybe YO can make it with them, and
YO
Crafty
is
Mac.
invited every fucking year, 100%.
I fly now, so I don't.
Oh, that's right.
Is he
He's
frozen?
on here.
He looks frozen to me.
No, I saw his fingers.
Nah, he's moving.
There we go. He's there.
He knows he's invited.
Mister.
Sam is invited every fucking year we drive out.
I love you guys. I love you guys. It's
That's
the
not gonna
best
be cup.
time, man.
Even Wyoming.
You used to be a fucking permanent staple at the bar, and then last year I'm like, where's the statue?
Yeah.
Fucking Ken House is there. Where are you? Yeah.
Andrew's got
I was there the following weekend.
And
following weekend.
I was
Are we
there
supposed
the
to stay
following
2
weekend.
weeks?
I was late a week, yeah, but I was there and I sat in my bar. It was
Prove it. Where are the fit? Where are the?
Oh, really?
We saw
Yeah, it
the
was on
pics,
the
actually.
It was
I
Portland was
did.
that following week.
Oh,
that was on Facebook.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
it was.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like tagging you guys. Where are you guys? I was there. So, but I hope so. Hopefully this year.
Hey,
So
34
you are invited for the road trip, Sam, every year.
Kickstarter for Sam.
We save a seat for you,
Yeah.
you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I saved a seat for you.
We got off track of
shut
Gax,
up. No
Gax
way.
machines.
Okay, well, we'll wrap back around that.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll wrap back around to that, but I have one little suggestion for
the
Sam.
wraparound.
What he might consider doing
Reach
is
around.
doing something like an art project that's kind of like smaller and more obtainable and like not too much money where more people would buy it. You know, if it's even like a poster or something.
So Joe Zabo is, I think that's how he's, I don't know. I mean, we've been talking to each other for months, but he's going to start offering the Zelda package for Arcade 1-Up.
Did you watch them?
So, I mean, he's going to start offering, he's going to be doing Ninja Turtle packages and all that stuff, trying to get all those guys that don't want to spend that much money for their cabinets, stuff like that. But, you know, and believe me, Chris, a lot of people have told me that. I had conversations with a bunch of YouTubers and stuff like that. It's just not possible. I mean, I could build a smaller, tiny little, but that's just not me, man. There's people doing that. There's people doing that, and
but I'm not thinking like a functioning arcade game. I'm thinking more like something that shows your artistic ability. You know, like the guy I'll reference is Wooden Arcade. He has like those 8-bit wooden art that he does, that he colors, and
Rastan right there.
Do you follow Small Change Arcade on Instagram, Chris?
Yeah, they have those little tiny machines. Yeah, they have stuff at PAX every year.
Yeah, so I've been talking to him and stuff a little bit, or we were going to talk. I mean, that would be ideal, but again, it's not really my thing. That's his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I hear you.
I don't really want to step on anybody else's toes and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is. So it's a lot of fun though. I love doing it. And cool. The Zelda and the Castlevania that I do are going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah,
so,
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you need any like custom sheet metal stuff, I can do it pretty easily. So
badass.
You know, reach out to me if you need something.
Can you make a Tron marquee?
I just hope,
reach around.
You know, there's a guy.
It's right up over there.
Yeah, you gotta make 2 next time.
I just love seeing.
I got a stack of them. I just have to finish them.
I just love seeing all the stuff you guys are making, like you, Chris, and all that stuff, all this custom stuff. I think it's really cool. So I hope you guys keep doing it too, and I hope that it catches on more with Clav, and they don't turn their nose up to it too much, just because, you know, there's no harm, no foul. It's just imagination. That's all it is.
Right.
So.
Your shit's pure art, man. And you're making that shit from scratch.
Yeah.
Especially your Ghostbusters is going to be like shit, because it's
Ghostbusters is going to be insane.
It's going to be.
I'm so excited for.
Yeah, that's going to be all custom art, like your own custom art. Now. Yeah, because you can draw too, so you got triple threat. You know? That's going to be awesome to see your actual artwork on it. Then people can go and they can go to that site to actually buy your artwork if they want to make a little, if they want to make their own Ghostbusters cab.
Yeah, you know? I mean that's something me and Joe have talked about, you know, and stuff. It's just kind of waiting to see how everything goes with Zelda and you know, possibly some of these other ones. I don't know. I really don't know. It's in its infancy right now. I just hope I can keep doing it and keep making new stuff that people like, and that, you know, because I love doing it too. So
look at Seabart posted the video for our old hangout where my Marvel Madness monitor died. It's at exactly 10 minutes 28 seconds. I watched it and I started laughing. I'm like, oh, there it goes. That's before I realized it.
We're all like 4 years younger.
Mark, if you notice,
so much hair.
I probably have less gray hair.
It was all black.
That was scared how I looked. Yeah.
And you just see Jim's eyes looking to the side, going, "What was that noise?"
Yeah, I think that was even before I was on.
Hey,
me too.
It was like a couple minutes later, you see me drop out, and then I'm just like pissed. I'm like, nah.
Think about it the whole.
What was that, Sam?
I was going to ask who won the GAC award at Greenfest this last year.
Oh, yeah, man, I can't think of who it was.
That was the guy from that podcast.
Yeah. Bricktop from Coin Rejects.
Jordan.
Bricktop. Yeah.
I'm the 2019 contender.
Was it epic?
I love you coming into it going like.
I like that people try to get it.
Yeah.
Like
Over
the
the
year
years.
before that.
I just ran out of
you
videos.
can't just get hammered. There has to be a story that goes along with it.
Yeah. And it's like not obnoxious or an asshole. You
Or
know, it's gotta be a
illegal.
fun drunk. You know.
So who had the
Yeah.
most epic? Who had the most epic GAC award out of all the
GAC.
drinkers?
GAC.
GAC.
And
No
and
contest.
That's the first time I met most
Sam,
of you
you were-
fuckers.
Yeah, that's right.
I did good at Nat San Diego myself. I
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you did.
You
pretty
fell down
good.
the stairs
Pissed
at Joel's
yourself.
house a couple times.
Yeah, and he pissed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That was almost scary.
Sam was part of the story of the very first GAC award.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. GAC, this is not the same hat that you.
I know. I think I
Stuff,
scarred
yeah.
you on that. The next year, you were like, "I'm never wearing that hat again." I'm like,
That was
no.
the first time I met you.
So Sam, tell that story because I'm sure you can tell it better than I can.
What? I just that it's the first time I met him.
The
I was
fuck your
just-
hat. Yeah,
I was just talking. I was actually at my corner of the bar. I was just sitting there talking to somebody. It was before I knew it was my
Talking to
corner.
me.
Yeah, I was talking to you, and then all of a sudden, this guy who I've never met before comes up to me and just starts cussing out my hat.
I hate
I
your
was like,
fucking hat.
Fuck you.
But instead
you
of
and your
instead
hat.
of
Fuck
I
your
love
hat.
you, man, and I love your hat, I was
love
just
you.
like, fuck you and your fucking.
Yeah, you just
No, but it was mixed in. It was like fuck you, fuck your hat. I love you. Weird
So I didn't know
combination of
if you were-
animosity
right.
and love.
I was confused. It's kind of like some of my past ex-girlfriends. I didn't know where we stood. You know what I mean? Like, we love each other or we hate each other.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus
You
Christ.
know what I mean? It's just
It felt very
didn't make
natural.
any sense. So
Well,
yeah,
walking
but no,
back-
it was awesome, man.
Walking back from the bar that first night
Shit.
was when
Oh,
we were walking through
Cougars.
the parking lot,
Oh, I was there for that
yeah.
too.
But Sam Fault walks backwards into the big pile of mulch, and then we get into the
He was going through that pile of mulch on his elbows.
we get to the Albert parking lot,
He was like fucking like belly crawling through the pile of mulch.
and Gak is like taking a whiz in the Albertsons parking
Pissing in the
lot.
parking lot.
And then this old man walks out of the store, and he's like,
I don't remember that.
I just remember. So my favorite games from these Green Fest, every year I get a favorite game out of them. And the year that a fantasy became my favorite game.
Yeah.
That was when were you walking with me, Aaron, back to the hotel when I decided I was gonna, or it might have been Superstar.
it was you, yeah,
And
and the three of us, because you went through the thrushes.
Yeah, there was those bushes, and I was like, I want to recreate fantasy right now, dude. The next morning, my entire room was covered with barbs and sticks, leaves. I had them in my underwear.
My room, by the way.
Yeah,
And
I was
think
there that
singing
night
Funky
too.
Town.
I was walking
I was
back
singing
that night.
Funky Town the whole
Yep.
time, you know. So yeah, it was a good time.
Fingers is a great time. You always come back with a story from something that's happened.
Yeah.
you
I
know?
can't wait. I cannot wait.
I mean, there was the first year, the second year at Grinkers that Sam and I were sharing a room, and we
Oh,
met
that was
John
hilarious.
Jacobson.
Oh, hey,
Oh, when you got lost in the
That was the
hallway.
hey guys, fucking.
hey guys.
And we were walking back to our room like drunk, like bouncing off of each other, like just like laughing and having a good time. And Sam's all like, "Hey guys, it's like John Jacobson is so funny." And then we hear this like a little whisper from behind us, "Hey guys,"
Yeah.
and it was fucking John.
and then he couldn't figure out which key was his for his which room was his. So you told him to try all the doors.
I was like, "Try all the doors." Eventually, you'll find the right one. Just try them all.
That was
That's
cool,
not
man. 'cause-
creepy.
Everybody was going to go in. I recall everybody was going to go into his room and hang out for a while, but he
that was
couldn't
like at
figure it
4
out.
a.m. that happened.
Yeah.
That was like super late.
And then everybody just kind
Yeah.
of like scattered, like, "Oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
bed."
Yeah. They all ditched him.
Was
Everyone's
David-
wasted,
Is
though.
there any chance of getting Fetish Boy and fucking Jow to Grinkers this year?
I wish.
yeah. They stopped.
I'm not too concerned about Jacobson. I'd like to fucking actually have a drink with fucking Jow and Fetish Boy.
I mean, we'll make sure to obviously we'll extend the invitation to all of them because
also I talk to them off and on. or Andrew could.
I talked to both of them. I actually talked to Joe and
I'm pretty sure the response will be this.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
Pretty much.
My favorite moment was the walking back to the hotel with Damien. Was that his name?
Yeah, I was there for that too.
He might be listening right now.
And
Damien Cordero.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice lad. Definitely nice lad.
Awesome dude.
The race back, the race back to the hotel.
He's very loyal. Just like
well,
Steve
he didn't come last year either, and I think he stopped coming when John stopped coming.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
and John hasn't gotten laid since, from what I've heard.
What are you drinking over there, Jim?
I am drinking an adult lemonade, if you will.
Adult lemonade. What is it? Vodka?
It's well, actually, I'm finishing up some gin. I'm finishing up a little bit.
Gin and lemonade.
Gin, club soda, and lemon juice.
Oh,
I just bought a big ass bottle of vodka, but I'm finishing up the gin first.
Oh, okay. That a boy.
Vodka. No.
Yeah. I got a busy work day tomorrow, so I didn't want to. I picked up some bourbon, but I'm like, man, if I have I'm gonna want to keep drink. Like, I want quantity over quality tonight. So, if that makes any sense, because I want to keep constantly be. Yeah, it's kind of like Andrew drinking, your Guinness. You want to constantly be drinking, and so I need something that I can mix light, so that I can do that. If I do Manhattans, I'm gonna be fucked after like 2.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have nothing to mix this with apart from tap water.
You need Coke with that.
You pour unfortunate things.
Coca-Cola.
And I have nothing literally with it in
That's
the
the
house.
best with that.
And I start working fucking.
He cuts it with dirt out of his backyard.
So you get nothing.
Nothing. Good day.
This is still for fucking Australian prices. That's $60 a bottle here in Australia.
Oh my god.
60. I think it's 35 here, right?
Yeah, but that's like what
40, 35, somewhere on there.
Oh wait,
it was like 20. I bought a bottle while I was in Hollywood, and it was like $25, I think.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was cheap. It was
how many ounces?
It's a 700 mil, so that is.
Shit.
Is that because it's imported from the U.S. or something, or what?
Yeah, that's only how Australian whiskey. God,
everyone likes
whiskey nowadays.
This version of whiskey.
You need to get one of these.
Imported. The fuck is that?
Well, Foster's,
really expensive. Fuel in my mower.
Australian.
God, this show's gone off the rails. We only talking arcade shit for a while.
We made it 2.5 hours. That's impressive. We started on time. Damn it!
Hey, you guys remember that episode that? You guys remember the episode that Seabart? We could see the couch in the background. It looked like a blow-up doll on his couch. It looked like a deflated blow-up doll. Remember that?
What do you mean? Look like?
Just fucked up that blow-up doll.
It was in for. Come on now. It was in for repair.
Come on now.
Covered
in duct tape.
Check the PSI.
Dick
who was on came on not wearing a shirt? Was that Seabart? The very first time that he joined.
That's way Crafty. That's way before we started recording this whatever that is. Way before that, and it was me and Gleek. It was me and Gleek who logged in when we were sleeping.
They were having live cyber sex.
Yeah, we saw some butt cracks.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we can't forget about that.
Crack kill.
No, that was Gleek in episode 60 something.
Jim needs to put together the best of from our shows.
It would be short.
It's gonna be very short.
Be like 30 seconds long.
Yeah, I have to do my top 10.
You have to listen for 4 hours to get like 30-second clips here and there.
Yeah.
Way too much work.
Top 10. There's only 4 things.
I can't do that while I'm driving.
I know we just named off 4 things.
Yeah.
There's got to be 5.
Oh, there is more than that. Trust me.
I know Gleek checking out his velvet painting while we all stared at his hairy butt
God,
crack. That was a moment.
That was good.
That was a moment.
How about Mock when he
he's
was like
not even in here
Italy
anymore.
or something
I
with the
missed that
Asian
one.
dude?
Oh, that was a good moment too. Yeah, Jim, remember?
Oh my God, that was great.
Just do my top 10 soundboard moment.
You go talk to that guy behind you. He's like this Japanese guy or something. Smoking a cigarette. Walk over to him.
I just have to be ready. Like it's a coincidence.
Your phone, like the microphone on your cell phone.
I was just about ready to say something to him, and I had my phone go. Oh my God!
That one, and John's were probably in my top.
Dude, that's 5 moments right there.
And then when I realized it was like a box set of my videos, I was like,
Moment 6. So you got 6 for best.
Yeah, we just named all of them just now.
Yeah. I just don't know what show and what time.
There it is.
You could put together like a 1-minute teaser. Put together like a 1-minute teaser of really funny shit. And then people chime in like, "What the hell is this?"
That's fucking funny or something.
How about Joel? How about Joel taking a piss with his microphone?
Oh my God, that was awesome.
That would actually be a really good idea for the channel, like for someone to edit together like a 1-minute little. This is what we taught, and then have like some arcade talk and then a bunch of
just bullshit.
My rant against the Orange Road.
All right.
That's right.
I got
that's a good one too.
You got it.
So, who said? This is way back machine stuff.
Oh shit.
Someone said, "Quote: Use more girth to fill the hole." Another person said, "We might have the same girth, but mine's more rigid."
I have no idea.
Who was the other person?
That sounds like a C-bar joke, actually.
That joke somewhere.
Who was the other person in that conversation?
Adam.
I don't remember.
Nope. He's on here right now. 34K.
And 34K, yeah.
That sounds like a 34K thing to say.
Oh, God.
We are talking about routing T-molding. And you brought out your router for T-molding.
Holy shit, we had arcade talk going on.
Believe it or not, in episode 5, we did have arcade talk.
Strangely enough, I have no fucking remembrance of...
Right?
Episode 200. There's going to be a couple wake-up calls. And
reminders.
I did just make up that word, sorry.
Wait, you said episode 200. What the fuck are we on now? We're like 163.
Yeah, but it's going to take to episode 200 for me to go through all these episodes and listen to the reverb and shit.
Yeah, then you're good.
I gotta say that'd be impressive if you could get through them all by then.
Oh, actually,
when do you find out who has been on air the longest? Up to episode 100.
Favorite jokes I ever made was the Twin Towers jokes about the salt shakers.
I haven't missed that many shows.
I haven't.
I'll bet it's
that one yet.
I'll bet it's me. Me and Andrew haven't missed that many shows.
Very few. The least shows, I think, probably.
You were in the lead until you took your leave.
I don't know. I think Crafty Mac.
Crafty was Aaron. You were a regular for a very long time.
Regular for at least a year, probably.
Yeah.
Crafty, come back.
Adam was too.
Adam was too. I think we started getting too drunk for Adam. I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, he was quite a trooper for a long time.
He was, yeah.
But I don't know how you guys east of California can do it, man. It's rough getting up.
Yeah, you Californians go to bed at like 2:00 a.m. my time. I'm still up to 5 with the boys.
It's a social event, though. Like it's kind of like
3:30 in the afternoon right here.
It's a social event, though. It's that's
10:30 for me at night.
It's worth it. Ever since we discovered Never Too Hungover.
Never.
I discovered it.
It's not Never Too Hungover. It's now.
What episode was that? Where have you guys tried this?
Because I talked about it on the show. Yeah,
you did. Our Savior. when it comes to that.
That was before Grinkers 4. It was before the 2016 Grinkers. I know that because we didn't have any in 15.
Mock, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we are the longest running live arcade podcast on YouTube.
I say it every show at the very beginning.
Speaking about that,
except I say favorite.
I was actually
the world's favorite.
I was actually talking to Walt today about that today.
You're what?
That you guys should get a card because of that.
Oh yeah, except that it'd be a card. It'd be a card with all like 12 of our faces on it.
No, we get a great one of the photos you guys have had at events and shit like that, and put it on, and that's it.
And then Walter pays like, who's the Arcade Hangout?
Yeah, no, he knows about it. He does know about it. That's it. Like
he's been sniffing as, where's Dave from Buffalo?
No, I was talking to Richie the other day. When you guys were looking for hosts, like Richie said, people to come on. Richie said he wanted to actually come on as well. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I just want to get Richie. We got to come up with some questions for him.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, he stole our
questions. He won't shut the fuck up, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. No, I've talked to him a few times. But yeah, he did steal our joke, huh, Andrew? Talk about that.
Did.
It was.
I reckon. You guys need.
It wasn't our joke. It was BBH's BBH joke about fucking jacking the giant killer off. But it was originally our joke from Whack Off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember saying that. Was in.
Yeah. Like, he's making a Whack Off joke. That was our fucking joke.
This someone was going to come over.
We were making about his original Donkey Kong joke.
So it's all full circle.
It's full circle.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a Kong off, and we're doing the Whack Off, and then
the Jack the
Giant, and then the Jack off. Yeah, the Jack the Giant Killer off.
Jack the Giant Killer off. Yeah, which is.
So I've only met Richie Knuckles.
The ultimate finish is the Lover Boy. That's it. So.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you never met Richie. I only met him once, and it was at CAX a couple years ago. I had my my oddball Nintendo games. I called it the Nintendo challenge.
Yeah.
And he was kind of standing right by there, and Rich from this little game, his booth was close by, so I just started talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, are you that guy Sid Seattle?" Like, yeah.
Oh
no. That's 34K.
Like, no,
that's my buddy.
I think you got me confused.
Actually became.
Yeah. I think he knows him now.
Yeah. You were next to me at Arcade Expo 4 when I was chatting to Richie.
Yeah, I didn't talk to him there, but the first time I met him, actually talked to him as a guy.
I remember the first time I met Sid Seattle, I got used as a battering ram by 34K.
Well, Dave from Buffalo.
I met him the first time.
Dave from Buffalo is in our YouTube chat, but he's not on our show.
Dave from Buffalo, I just sent him a text. Where you at, bitch cakes? he responds to the fucking.
There's a spot in the room.
Just tell him, come on, cunt.
That's what he says. I'll be at Grinkers. Well, you better be there.
I'll be at
tell us something we didn't know.
So, by the way, happy belated birthday, Mock.
Oh, thanks.
You know, and congrats on your pin, even though it's you gave you a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a new pin in, there's an adjustment period, sort of, to dial it in. That's kind of normal with a new
you gotta get used to each other, Yeah,
you gotta pet each other, gotta take each other out to dinner a couple times.
Yeah,
until you can finally slip the lingerie on it and
get the candy coated shell off. Yeah,
you gotta make sure it's properly lubricated before you just
properly lubricated before you insert the rubbers on it.
But Mock,
deploy the plunger.
Moment.
Mark, since you're the pin and the meme guy here on this show, what is your opinion on the Beatles, and also now the fucking Black Knight 3000.
Oh, we didn't talk about Black Knight. That was in my news.
About Black Knight 2000.
I had that in my news. I wrote down news tonight.
I'm not ready. Are we doing the news now? Should I get ready? Here?
Sorry,
yeah, let's do the news. All right, here we go. The news. Tonight, flying high above you is newscaster Steve.
Yeah,
man on the street, Steve Mock.
And on my left is Giant Hands 34K. No.
We're really high above the arcade. Okay.
Big Hands, Little Donkey Kong, apparently.
Little Kong.
We have talked about Black Knight a lot on this podcast.
He brought a yardstick and he should have brought a micrometer.
Yep.
Nice.
That's right.
Ouch.
That's a precision measuring instrument.
Yeah, it's a measuring device.
That's why Gak hasn't been here.
Measuring machine.
Andrew banned him.
Yeah, he's got the caliper out. Yep.
No, it's the millimeter measure.
Right. This is what it's like to have 9 and 10 people in the show. It's been a while. We have to fight our way through.
Oh my god, that's another best moment when I said that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What's his dick taste like was another good moment. But,
Oh,
okay.
that was amazing. That was,
Okay, we might have a top 10.
Yeah, we might.
All right.
Okay, so
barely a chance.
Okay, so we have talked about Black Knight a few times on the show. Especially Andrew has memories of it. I do.
That was my first That was my first love. That was the first game I ever understood, like pinball, where it's like.
But that kind of love was forbidden back in the.
Forbidden love.
Like, it was like there are rules, and if you shoot for shit, that does stuff, and then that opens up stuff, and there's other stuff. It's like
there's goals.
It's not just keeping the game alive.
Yeah,
like this is the
there's
first
goals
time.
involved.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
it's fun, and the music's awesome. We're talking about Black Knight 2000, actually, is what we're talking about.
Right.
Not the
When we were walking through Fun Spot, remember how many times when we would hear the pin come on and we'd start laughing and look.
Oh
my god,
you can do it. You can do it.
And that was like deliberate, apparently. Highly deliberate by Steve Ritchie when he designed it. He's like he wanted to make sure the game and the music
nice.
I like the Jungle
would
Lord
stand
music.
out above like the din of the arcade. Like you would hear that shit.
Yeah, it was one of the first talking pins too.
Yeah,
it's like you didn't hear a lot of the ones talking.
Interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool about that. And the music's awesome in it. I mean, so anyway, is it who's the pinball designer on this? This is
It's Steve Ritchie.
Steve Ritchie, yeah. And he the pinball dealer JJ that I went through Game Exchange. In Colorado, Denver, Colorado. So he friended me on Facebook, so I get to see his post, and he posted him kicking back with Steve having a drink in a room somewhere, and he goes, "Oh, he's giving me details on his new pin he's going to be releasing soon." And he had a cowboy hat on, so it's like everyone was thinking, "What? A cowboy themed pin? Is that the clue?" You know, like. Yeah, that's what we thought, something like that. It was not that at all.
I would fucking buy one of those.
You just did that to fuck with us. It had nothing to do with it at all. So
I have jokes about the new Jersey Jack pin, though. Sorry.
Which one's that?
Well, they're doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, that, yeah, I'm excited about it. I haven't,
sorry.
No, that's another thing. But I'm waiting for that pin. I can't wait to see what that.
I'm literally, like. It might be my first new. If you want to
view paradise, simply it's one of my. And you will. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time. You know, it's like probably my top 10.
Good.
The only thing I've ever bought brand new before that is a fucking fridge. So it might be. I'll go massively in the depth.
Fucking Gene Wilder. If it's
it is.
It has to be Gene Wilder.
I'm gonna buy one and burn it. Just
You know, every mode would be like a child's demise, right?
If it's a fucking Johnny Depp one, we go halves, then we burn it.
It won't be.
I would pay thousands of dollars just to live stream a burning of that.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I'll go your halves in that one if it is. Yeah, fuck yeah.
But you know, in that game, it's gonna have like modes for every child's demise. You know. And have like the Oompa Loompa songs, and then there'll be a tunnel for the boat, and it's gonna be fun.
It'll be the first serial killer pinball
machine. The only problem is gonna be like 10 grand though.
Oh,
and about 15,000 Australians.
Yeah.
Did Did Wyo sign out?
No, am I here?
Again.
Am I here? I'm having a problem. I'm having a problem.
I hear you.
As long as we can hear your cute voice.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can't see your face so much.
You're like a silhouette.
Just, if you have to go, just say, let us know.
Your face,
it keeps cutting out. It keeps cutting out.
Somebody listed on Craigslist the new Black Knight, whatever, 3,000 Swords of Fury for 20 grand. Yeah.
What? Is that what it's going for?
No.
Is that Tony J or whatever? That has everything.
Angry Sword or whatever it is.
It's standard pricing for Stern.
Yeah, no.
It'll probably be 5, 6, and 8 or something.
Yeah,
like
but you could get the special edition for 20,000. Apparently, near me.
Jesus.
So lucky me. I was like, what the hell?
Like Chinese.
Yeah, and not Swords of Fury, because Swords of Fury, for anyone who's played Swords of Fury,
I just want to play it and see if it's awesome. I'm excited for it, but I'm not paying for that.
I just want it to be Grinkers right now.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to try that one. And I know that I'm not the pin person, Jerry, but for me, Beatles. Oh, big thumbs down!
I haven't played it. I really like the music. I'm hoping that
Beatles. So pretty much, if you don't like the Beatles, and like there's something wrong.
I
with
love
you,
the Beatles, but I don't like the pin.
That pin, yeah.
Theme, but I hate the fucking demo and thing too.
That pin, the pin sucked.
Yeah, cool.
It was a big disappointment.
It smelled.
One of the girls. One of the girls
like
I hang out with, she's a pitbull.
Carrie, does it smell like a yellow
yup.
submarine?
Yeah.
It smells like butt.
It smells like I'm not buying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody played the Primus one yet?
Can they do a Pee Wee?
No, it was at the show too. The Texas pinball thing.
I would spend 10 grand on the Pee Wee's Big Adventure pinball. I'm just saying.
It has the hidden Easter egg where you catch him in the theater.
Oh
my!
That's a lower level playfield game, like fucking ACDC.
Show goes to mock there too.
Is that the wizard mode?
Yeah, it's that little underneath game.
And they use the
little hands.
It's called Cleanup aisle 13.
And they use the voice clip from the Video Music Awards when Pee Wee came out and he was like, "Heard any good jokes lately?"
That was the best.
That was fucking awesome.
That just diffused it right.
That's just like he owned it. He just
he owned it. He's like, fuck.
Like fuck it.
And it made us all love him again.
I can imagine in the theater.
He's accused of masturbating in a porno theater. I love it because it's like, wow, how dare you? Like,
I can imagine them trying to escort him out of there. Get out of here, you pervert! I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, that's like going into like a Subway and not ordering a sandwich.
Yeah,
like that's
Did you make Jared jokes?
The most fun
Oh, nice.
Okay, I'll use a different example. When you go into a McDonald's,
yeah,
Jared. I gotta tell you guys this. So
I didn't say
the
Jared.
only reason he really got busted is Steve. The only reason he really got busted is because it was before smartphones and Pornhub.
Well, I got to tell you guys this on Clav, the $8,000 Paperboy thread. You guys have all seen that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So right away, I love my thing lately on Clav has just been posting GIFs, like no text, nothing, just an animated GIF, and so.
Yeah, I've noticed that actually about your posts.
Oh, it's been fun. Yeah. That's my thing at work. Like, what's a clever gift I can post here? And during that Paperboy, the $8,000 thread, I'm like number 3. I'm on it. It's a slow day at work, and I post a picture, an anime GIF from Pee Wee's Big Adventure of him putting the fake ear on, and I talking about what? And nice. I got more reps for that one GIF post than like any other helpful post I've ever posted of like, here's how you fix this, or here's some advice. You get no wonder Gleek has like 8,000 reps for being a fucking troll. But that's how it works. It's so silly. This is probably Dave from Buffalo. I just heard my phone go off.
What are you doing?
That was so fucking fun. Yeah, here he is. I'm almost asleep, drinking all night, just alone with my desk. Oh no!
Oh, why'd he come on tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna respond and be like, get on here, and we'll cheer you up.
Yeah, we'll wake you up.
Although,
hey guys, speaking of
I know, right?
We gotta bounce.
I gotta go fall asleep.
Yeah, we got jobs.
I know.
Some of us have to work.
Yeah, some of us have to rest up so we can be here next week too. Unlike
Yeah.
some folks who are like, fair weather.
I know, maybe hard to believe, but I'm actually out of
waiting for it.
Yeah.
So
Come on,
Crafty and Sam, you guys are always welcome to come on anytime. We love you, have you here. It feels like old times
Thank
when you
you.
guys are here. So
yeah,
I'd like you to come back anytime.
Awesome. Miss you
Open
guys.
invitation. Yeah.
Crafty, we've missed you for the past couple episodes, man. Please come back. Join us.
Yeah.
Life source.
Don't make it awkward, dude.
Right.
Bump it up on all the time.
Hey, dude,
don't make it
we need
awkward.
to get you again, but like
You need to get fucking Time Runner and his wife back on again too.
Yeah. That's always a good time.
Yeah,
That
was
is always a good time.
That's another best of moments. You get like 10 of them on that episode.
Yeah. True. Oh my god.
It's never
Yes,
awkward.
talking about menstruation. Oh yeah.
Or grabbing cocks. Just talking about grabbing
Oh my
people's
God.
cocks.
So we're here every week if you guys want to
Hey, what about
come back and
Wait, we just started talking about menstruation.
What about getting
we'd love to have you.
here?
So, who was in our chat this week?
The
get
shedding
Fly
of the
and Sylvia
uterine
on.
lining.
Oh, that's right.
Who's in our
We
chat
get-
this
we
week?
get
We've got
Ivan.
Jack knows about all
Catfish,
that.
Lethargy. Thank you so much, Mike, for showing up. That's pretty awesome.
Sarah
Night-
was here. Necros was here.
Night Flyer, dude, you're
DJ
a badass.
Gleek was here and there.
Mike, Clark,
Ricky.
when are we playing Street Fighter? Get on Fightcade, get on Street Fighter 30th.
Dave Lope.
Let's
Yep,
play.
Dave Lope.
Baron, Bliss.
I gotta get
Ford.
a quick shout out to my friend.
I think I saw J Rock in there too.
Yep,
Yeah,
J-Rock.
J-Rock and J-Rock.
John of Vision.
J-Rock.
Gino, I think, was there too.
Yeah, Gino was
A
in
little bit.
earlier.
I gotta give a quick
Jerry,
shout
Jerry,
out
do
to
your
my
shout
friend.
out.
Yeah.
A quick shout out to my friend Sean, Ultimate Denizen #2, jumped in for a second there. Yeah, that's about it.
You cunt. You fucking
Yay.
cunt.
What about number 1 or number 3? No, we're not. They're not friends.
Johnny
Fuck 'em.
Bond is old. No,
Fuck those
we haven't had a
assholes.
Ultimate Denizen #3
Oh
competition.
shit! No. I just
Yeah.
looked over and we have Skeleton Dick in our chat.
Oh, Skeleton Dick too.
No. Skeleton Dick.
Lord 5150 is in our chat right now. I haven't seen him
wow.
fucking say
There he
anything,
is.
but that's our own Skeleton Dick. And actually, his birthday's coming up.
So
very
Waiting to
soon.
hear his intro music, isn't he?
I know
Our
we
boy,
didn't dance to
Brent
it
Spiner.
this week.
Yeah. However, his birthday is coming up very soon.
Wow. Oh, happy birthday,
happy
Skeleton
birthday,
Dick.
Happy almost birthday.
Happy
Chris!
Yeah,
Chris, happy birthday!
Oh, to you.
You fucking
We wish
rock.
it was our birthdays.
Hey, your dick is
Olé.
slightly less skeleton-y.
Word is typing.
Happy birthday.
Hey, look, he
Right.
said, "Why, hello there." Look at that.
Aw.
Chris, dude, happy birthday. I wish I could make it down there. I would love to fucking see you guys play. Just saw that post on Facebook and would love to make it to it, but I can't do it.
Happy belated Mock. Sorry, I tried to wish you one on Facebook,
all right.
but Facebook
Yeah.
was down that
Oh,
day.
fuck. His birthday was a couple days ago.
On
So.
Facebook,
Yeah.
Facebook was down though.
Dude,
I couldn't.
Yeah,
do it.
we're gonna have
Yeah, I went down on my
mine was
birthday.
down too. So, yeah.
Mark,
Yeah.
who
You
else
cracked
went
it.
down on you
We're
on your
gonna have to
birthday?
talk about Gak's new game. Gak, you need to come
Wow.
back next week so we can talk about your new games because it's too late and that can take.
I might, it's starting to warm up, and I think I kind of have a computer set up now. So,
You're gonna buy
Yeah.
that 55-inch
Okay,
to watch
sweet.
porn?
yeah, that's the plan eventually. But I got a lot more work in here first. So.
I saw your post on Facebook.
Yeah, like soundproofing, first off.
Then a good stink.
Yeah.
Sink.
We had
Talking about monitors here. I don't know your.
Oh, okay.
or
Mr. Brent
plumbing. I
Steiner.
don't know.
We actually had Data in our fucking chat room tonight. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
Yes, Brent Spiner was in earlier.
Wow,
We had
sweet!
Brent-
I knew it was
we were
just a
lucky
little
to
while.
The guy from
before
Star
he-
Trek.
Yep.
Excited.
Yep.
Drew, are you sure it wasn't his evil brother?
I've seen a picture. He looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
He has a beard.
He has a his fucking hair.
And his hair is a little bit longer. Someone simulated his hair
is it
follicles.
like Independence Day?
Exactly like Independence Day. Exactly like.
Is that all you need? Is like a beard or a mustache, and that makes you evil? Like a Knight Rider when Hasselhoff would fight off his evil.
Are you sure it's not lore?
It was just him with the mustache. Oh, I'm bad.
I don't remember that episode.
Watch out for lore. I think it's lore.
Yes, lore. God, it was lore.
All it takes is the mustache to make you evil.
Hey, next Netflix movie to watch is The Dirt.
Oh, I know. I watched the first 5 minutes.
I saw that over the weekend.
Let's all watch it and talk about it next week.
Talk about squirting.
No, I know. Okay, stop.
That's like one of the first things.
Whoa, what's the movie? Everybody watch it. We'll talk about it next week.
Was it called The Dirt?
The Dirt.
It's basically the story of Motley Crue.
Motley
Hey,
Crue,
Jack,
it's on Netflix.
I'll fucking tell you, I've
It's rated
actually
R.
done better than that squad in the last week.
On
So,
Netflix?
Netflix. It's called The Dirt. It's all a collection of stories from all the band members of things that happened on the road.
Yeah, let's take it offline and actually really talk about how fucking.
I gotta say, not a Motley Crue fan.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, Carrie.
I'll watch the movie. I'll watch the movie, even though I'm not like a music.
Yeah. Well, if you hate the band, you might not like the movie then.
Hey, it's no Bohemian Rhapsody. That was a fucking really good fucking.
I just saw that.
Yes.
That was
so
fucking
much.
amazing. I'm
He
both
looks so
Queen
much
and Motley Crue fan, but the Motley Crue one was good.
It's really dirty.
But it was nothing like the
Very
two
dirty.
books. They based it on, like nothing like the two books, and the actors were fucking. They just didn't get people that look like the people that
they
were.
didn't. They don't look like them at all.
I need to
That's what put
interject
me off.
here.
That's what put me off the whole
Dave
fucking
from
thing.
Buffalo just texted me and he says, "I have to go to bed, but you guys rock. I love you."
We love you too,
Love
Dave.
you too, Dave.
All right, and with that, Steve-O, you want to take us out of here?
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and thanks everybody we just mentioned in chat. Come back again. We're going to try to always start at 8 o'clock straight up if we can. No more of this half-hour late bullshit. We're just going to start the show.
Hey, the half-hour late works better for me.
And Sam, aka Wyo, and Crafty Mick, aka Aaron. Please come back again.
Yeah, welcome back. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week.
See you next week.
Gak too. I'd like to have you back. We miss you, and we've talked about missing you.
Adam, One Circuit, thanks for coming back. We'll see you next week.
And Adam, come back someday. And I guess that's all I have to say. Anybody else?
All right. And this song goes out to everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.